the Firebirds and the Barrie Colts. Flint and Barrie will meet for the second time in 15 days as the Birds look for a little payback from their loss on the road 2 weeks from yesterday. And here we go. It's the Firebirds and the Colts. Flint Firebirds hockey is on the air. And it starts right now. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome inside our broadcast booth for tonight's pregame show, driven by Shea Automotive. Here to tell you the story, I'm Brian Gardner. It's the Firebirds and the Barrie Colts as Flint and Barrie, two of the best teams in their respective conferences, both with 66 standings points entering play today. Firebirds sit 2 points back in the first place Windsor Spitfires in the Western Conference. They're in third place. Barrie, as the leaders of their division, the Central Division, sit at second place in the Eastern Conference. Yeah, the Firebirds and the Colts, they met up just 15 days ago on the 15th of January. That was 2 weeks from yesterday. Flint lost that game by a final of 5-3, but it was a good one. Saw the Birds fall in a bit of a hole. They came back and tied it at 3. Barrie eventually pulled away for the 2-goal victory. 5-3 was the final score. So you know the Firebirds will be looking for a little bit of payback from that. And here today, they're also looking to get rid of what is one of the odder stats in franchise history. Birds have never beaten the Barrie Colts on home ice. They would dearly love to change that. They only get one crack at them in each building per season. And here today, the Firebirds would love to just get that goose egg out of the column in the all-time matchup between these two teams. So it's the Firebirds and the Barrie Colts, and hey, what a day it would be for that as the eyes of the league are upon us with the OHL's Friday Night Faceoff live here on FHN today. So why don't we dive in now and get a look at the highlights the last time these teams were on the ice. We'll begin in the second period of the Firebirds and the Windsor Spitfires back on Saturday last week. Oh, what a save for Joey Costanzo on the back door. As the Birds playing as the Flint Coney Dogs in this game, still 0-0. Windsor are going to change that. Nathan Villeneuve over for the one-timer from Jakob Fibiger. He gets his first goal as a Spit, and the Spits take a 1-0 lead. Third period now, Windsor still up 1-0. Daryl Oljanski to change that. From the high slot just outside of it, Oljanski gets it through traffic and in. Second goal in his previous 3 games for Daryl's, and it's a 1-1 hockey game for the Firebirds and the Windsor Spitfires. Oh, we continue though in the third period, and unfortunately for Flint, this time Caden Harvey gonna do the work. Shake loose, shoot the puck, just snuck it through Mason Vicari and in. Caden Harvey from Jakob Fibiger and Ethan Garden gives Windsor the lead back, and then they'll add to that. Firebirds on a power play. They cough it up though. Here comes Nathan Villeneuve, shorthanded. First chance, no. Second chance, yes. That Liam Greentree, not Villeneuve, is the captain. All kinds of fired up for Windsor. They added an empty netter from Connor Walton, and behind 29 saves out of Joey Costanzo, they win it by a final of 4-1. The Barrie Colts and the Brantford Bulldogs on Sunday in Brantford. First period, pick it up with a 2-man advantage for Brantford, and it's Jake O'Brien able to finish on the back door on the one-timer. O'Brien makes it 1-0 for the Bulldogs. Second period though, Brantford again, this time Merrick Van Acker in tight as he flips that one in, another power play goal, and it's 2-0 Brantford. Barrie got to answer the power play goal of its own right. Parker Von Richter on the second effort, he slams it home. It's 2-1. Brantford leading Barrie. Look at Von Richter, individual effort all the way through, slicing through the defense. So it's a 2-1 game going into the third period, and the third period got a little bit ugly for Barrie. Jake O'Brien first with his second goal of the game. Filthy hands on the breakaway the other way. 3-1 Bulldogs, and they'll make it 4-1 here as Charlie Paquette on the back door to tap it home. 4-1 Brantford for the former Guelph Storm. Paquette on the backside, and how about making it 5-1? Vladimir Dravetsky is going to cash in on this one, and when it rains it pours as Barrie is letting that one slip away. There was another added by Caleb Malhotra, which leads us to the final minute of a 6-1 game. Insult to injury, Paquette got another one on the left wing circle, short side and in. 7-1 your final score. Brantford wins it on home ice on Sunday. Let's get a look at how these teams match up, as they are similar teams in terms of tough to score against. They can put up some goals as well. The power play, a real strength for Barrie. Firebirds power play has been scuffling a little bit the last handful of games. Penalty kills strong all season long for the Firebirds. Barrie's isn't bad, just a few percentage points back at 79.5. Standings, we alluded to this as Flint sits now in third in the Western Conference. Those top three have all played the same amount of games. Kitchener has surpassed Flint, sitting in second place. They already had by way of leading their division, but now with 67 points. Windsor sitting in first with 68. Firebirds, though, very much in a dogfight trying to get first place in the West Division and in turn the Western Conference. Sioux Greyhounds not far behind as well in fourth. On the east side, the Barrie Colts in first place in their division, so they're in second in the conference with 66 points. Ottawa and Brantford fighting for the best of the East at 71 standings points to lead the way. So the Firebirds and the Barrie Colts, you can see exactly why the OHL wanted to showcase this one. Two of the best in their respective conferences for the second and final time this season. The Barrie Colts and the Flint Firebirds meet up. It's also the second time in the span of just 15 days, and that last one was a good game, so we're really looking forward to this one, seeing what these two teams have in store. Stick around when we come back on the pregame show driven by Shea Automotive. We're going to look at our lineups for today's game, also our players to watch. That and more coming up after this here on the Firebirds Hockey Network.
Welcome to 2026, a year of exciting changes and fresh beginnings. It's the perfect time to embrace new possibilities and drive into the year with confidence. Why not start this new chapter with a brand new Buick or GMC, like this GMC Sierra 1500, or the 2026 Buick Envision. A large selection is available right here at Shea Buick GMC. I'm Mackenzie Miller, and it's your year to make a change. Visit us at Shea Buick GMC, and let's make 2026 a year to remember. Just saying.
Barrie and Flint here on a Friday night in Flint, Michigan. The Birds hosting the Colts as the Firebirds try to even up the season series with Barrie. Our lines for today's game from the Barrie side of things, as the Colts have a handful of new faces from the trade deadline that have been playing well for them. Ben Wilmot, Mason Zabeski, and Parker Von Richter, the big additions for the Barrie Colts, who are throwing out Arvin Jaswal, who's not the go-to guy. Ben Horebic, the backup goaltender today, as Jaswal gets the nod in net for Barrie. How about our players to watch? And we'll begin with their captain, Kayshawn Aitchison. Barrie captain, one of the best power play weapons in the Ontario Hockey League. He's got 22 goals, which is the most among OHL D-men. He's also got the second most power play goals in the league with 12. Had a goal and an assist in the win over the Firebirds on the 15th of January, 15 days ago. Goal did come on the power play. Last 9 games, 12 points for the Islanders prospect, Kayshawn Aitchison. Cole Beaudoin leads the way for this Barrie team with 55 points, as he's only 7 back of Nathan Aspinall for the league lead. Beaudoin has done that in only 34 games played, those 18 goals and 37 assists. He's 8th in the OHL with 37 assists on the season. And how about his last 9 times out? 14 points plus a 2-assist performance in the win over Flint for the Utah Mammoth prospect, Cole Beaudoin. And Emil Hemming really tore it up in Barrie's win over Flint on the 15th. He had 2 goals and 2 assists. That was the second time this season he's had 4 points, which is his career high. Hemming opened up the season by playing 5 AHL games for the Texas Stars before returning to Barrie, the Dallas Stars prospect. 39 points on his season. On the Firebirds side of things, the Birds continuing to space out that firepower on those top 3 lines. It's really impossible to call any of those the first, second, or third line with the way the Firebirds have things situated. Mason Vicari draws in as the starting goaltender for the Firebirds, as you see Jacob Battaglia continuing his time as a center for Flint alongside Brady Smith and Kevin He. How about our players to watch for the Firebirds? And we'll begin on the blue line with Daryl Zoljanski. Just keeps performing. The Ducks prospect has 2 goals in his last 3 games, including an unassisted goal during Saturday's 4-1 loss to Windsor. Had an assist in the loss to Barrie on the road just over 2 weeks ago. 6 goals, 13 assists. That has come in 21 games for the Firebirds. He's missed some around injury and his time for Team Latvia at the World Junior Championships. Kevin He has put up numbers against the Barrie Colts this season. 3 games against him with Niagara. He had a goal and 5 assists. He added another assist in his first game against the Colts as a Firebird. So that's 4 games played against Barrie for the Winnipeg prospect. He has a goal and 6 assists. 19 goals, 26 points on the season for Kevin He, who continues to be a difference maker out there for the Firebirds. And Jimmy Lombardi has been good all season long. We could really highlight him on any night. The OHL just called attention to the fact he's won the 2nd most faceoffs in the league this season. Still leads the Birds with those 25 goals in addition to 24 assists. He's going to really drive things on that top line. Last 4 games for Lombardi, 2 goals and 1 assist for the Los Angeles Kings prospect. It's the Firebirds and the Barrie Colts. Should be a fun one here today on a chilly Friday evening in Flint as we get set to step aside for the final time. When we come back, we'll have the starting lineup introductions. We'll have the national anthem and then the puck drop. This has been the pregame show driven by Shea Automotive. Stick around. Barrie and Flint coming up after this on the Firebirds Hockey Network.
Let Shea uplift your service experience. Here's our process. As soon as you enter the Shea service lane, one of our service consultants will greet and listen to your service needs. Then we prepare your vehicle to be serviced by one of our trained expert technicians. You can relax in your waiting room with complimentary refreshments. Your service consultant will keep you updated throughout the process. Your vehicle will be returned to you all clean and serviced. I'm Jesse Lopez. Now that's uplifting. Just saying.
And now for your starting lineup. On defense, number 98, Urban Pedrekar. Also on defense, number 65, Rylan Fellinger. At left wing, number 76, Nathan Aspinall. At center, number 10, Jimmy Lombardi. And at right wing, number 22, Darian Anderson. Your starting goaltender, number 1, Mason Vakari. Fans, at this time, we ask that you please rise if able and remove your caps. Active military and veterans may keep their caps on while rendering the military salute, as we invite you to join us for the singing of the Canadian and United States national anthems. Performing tonight's national anthems, please welcome the Flushing Troublemakers Choir. Helping interpret the anthems tonight from Communications Access Center are Luke Minnick and Shaylee Kales.
On away we go here on this Friday night from Flint, the Birds and the Colts. Flint hosting Barrie as the Firebirds and the Colts, two of the best in their respective conferences, meeting up for a heavyweight matchup at the Dort Financial Center. Delighted to have you here. I'm Brian Gardner. This is the Firebirds Hockey Network, and that is Mason Vicari, today's starting goaltender for the Birds. For the 36th time, Vicari will strap in the pads. He's 25-7-1-1. Those 25 wins, the most in the Ontario Hockey League. Goals against average, .260. Save percentage, .913. The overage goaltender has been excellent all season long. On the other side of things, Arvin Jaswal draws in for the Barrie Colts. For the 15th time this season, Jaswal's got a record of 10-3-0-1. Goals against, .217. Save percentage is .930. Typically the backup to Ben Horebic, but he has availed himself nicely in his time in between the pipes for the Colts, and Jaswal will now get to show his stuff here on this Friday night in Flint. Firebirds donning the blue jerseys. They'll go right to left on home ice in their white, on road in their whites. The Barrie Colts go left to right. 20 minutes on the clock, puck down. It's controlled by the Birds. Underway for period number one here from the Dort Financial Center. That is taken away by the Colts. They chuck one on net and stick aside by Mason Vicari. The Firebirds will flip it up ice and give chase on for Jimmy Lombardi and Darian Anderson. Lombardi got to it. Anderson digs it out in tight for Podrekar. Couldn't pull the trigger. Cleared away by the Colts. See if this will be icing. Indeed it will. As that called against Barrie. Just 29 seconds gone in this first period for the Firebirds and the Colts. Well, Flint 66 points, third place in the Western Conference. Barrie 66 points, second place in the Eastern Conference. Firebirds coming off of a loss there last time out. Same true for the Colts, as Flint fell 4-1 on home ice on Saturday against the Windsor Spitfires, splitting their home and home with their top rival in the West Division this season. That shot on net was sticked aside and loose behind as it swept over to the near wing. Daryl Oljanski is on it there. And Oljanski carried behind the net as he spins in the left wing corner, and they flip it out towards Ignat Pazzi. Pazzi shot tipped in front, bouncing right wing corner, Kostov on it. Out to the blue line, Graziano. Shot, flipped wide, and that's picked up by Thibodeau. Chris Thibodeau on the near wing boards, rolled into the neutral zone, Graziano to get it. And now Alex Kostov tracks it down for the Firebirds. Kostov was Flint's representative at the OHL Top Prospects game a few weeks back in Peterborough. As Luca Graziano has it in the defensive zone. Turned over though to Landra in front for a chance for Gardner. Was high and wide, and Brad Gardner has it back. Puck to the blue line. It's dumped back behind where the Firebirds are on it with Kevin He. Barrie coming out with some pace here, but the Birds to counter with Brady Smith down the left wing side. Smith for the trailing Kevin He. Right behind the net, He. Puck on his forehand. Spins it out to Allen. As he touches it over to Komodowski, Firebirds will dump it in. Well, Barrie there last time out, a 7-1 loss to the Brantford Bulldogs on the road on Sunday. Now for Barrie in that game, it was 2-1 entering the third. And then the Bulldogs hung 5 goals in the final 20 minutes. As those two teams who have been sitting at the top of the Eastern Conference for most of the season and will advantage Brantford at least on Sunday. That puck on the far wing side, it's curled along the left wing corner, and it will go towards the net as on the backside. It's played out towards Emerton, and he dumps in right wing corner. Is dug after by Jacob Battaglia for the Firebirds. Worked up through center, and a big check from Kevin He draws the approval of the Flint faithful. Battaglia in for He, didn't quite connect. And with 17.5 on the clock in the first, the Colts are out the other way. It's Crombie, stripped of it as he got it back to dump it in. And behind the net now, Vicari onto Podrekar. Urban Podrekar in no hurry. He'll give it off to Josh Colosimo as Colosimo motors down the left wing side. Colosimo into the attacking zone, left wing corner, Cunningham. And it is Gabriel Eliasson, the Ottawa Senators prospect. Big defenseman brings it out the other way. Dumped in deep. Vicari from his trapezoid hands it off to Urban Podrekar. Overage defenseman for Flint. On to Charlie Murata. Left side looking to Cunningham, and it skipped into the neutral zone. As that will be sent forward to the skates of Cunningham, but Kayshawn Aitchison is on it as he dumps the puck in deep, and the Firebirds play with Vicari once again. Near side Cunningham. And they bring it forward. Colosimo in the neutral zone. Colosimo on to Cunningham. Ryland Cunningham is in. Shot tipped. And now poked towards the front of the net. Anderson back for Colosimo. Darian Anderson now to Oljanski. Tipped in front. And the save, and still loose. Can they poke it? No. Swept away by Jaden Newton. I don't even think Jaswal realized he didn't have that until the fans started making some noise because that puck was loose in the crease. But Newton came over to help out his goaltender, and meanwhile, Beaudoin in the attacking zone. One time from Emil Hemming goes wide of the net. Hemming, who had 4 points in the win over the Firebirds 15 days ago in Barrie, 2 goals and 2 assists. Matched a season and a career high. Jimmy Lombardi down the right wing, going to the net. Lombardi on a backhanded chance. Jaswal stopped it. And that puck now on the right wing side. Firebirds along the blue line. Oljanski, he played in right wing corner. And now it's Lombardi behind the net. Puck is worked over to Anderson and fed out the other way now for the Colts. And they bring it through center. Beaudoin got run into, rolls in towards the net. There Mason Vicari slings up into the neutral zone. On towards Lombardi. He got checked, and Solandra in the right wing corner. He will play along to the far wing side. Aitchison, shot tipped up into the screen. That's out of play. 15 minutes and 18 seconds to go in the first period. I will take a look at that chance for the Firebirds. It was Colosimo tipping it in front, And wait, on the backside, Jaden Newton able to come over and sweep it away. You can see from our angle, tough to tell for a moment that puck was still loose, and luckily for the Colts and Arvin Jaswal, it was Newton to get over there and clear the zone successfully. Puck along the near wing boards as the Firebirds chase. And a big check applied by Kostov as he knocked down 2 Colts in the process. Solandra, right side, shoots it, and a kick save by Vicari. And now in the left wing corner, Gardner stripped of it as the Firebirds clear back into the neutral zone. And they'll chase into the attacking end as Passmore was ridden towards his goaltender by Pazzi, and they don't quite like the work of Ignat Pazzi. Post whistle, Pazzi getting a little bit involved with a couple of different Barrie skaters. And it looks like maybe some discipline going to come from this. Mason Zabeski and Alex Kostov both to the box. We're going to get 4-on-4 action as the second guys in were the ones who will get the discipline. So Zabeski came in and gave a pop to Pazzi, and then Kostov coming to the defense of his line mate. And basically as soon as that happened, you saw the indication that, nope, you guys are both taking a seat. So that means 4-on-4 hockey here with 14:51 to go in the first period of a 0-0 game. As that face-off controlled by the Colts, who will get to work from their own zone. Kayshawn Aitchison start the charge the other way as it's played up right wing side. Here's Hemming into the attacking zone. Hemming knocked off of his stick, and the puck picked up by Beaudoin. Beaudoin to Aitchison, just along the blue line, and it's Parker Von Richter. Von Richter dumped it in right wing corner. And Jimmy Lombardi is on it with 14 minutes and 20 seconds to play in the first period. Near wing side, it's Daryl Oljanski. As Oljanski carries it up through center ice. Oljanski on the left wing, right behind the net. As he swoops over to the near wing, out to Graziano. Puck is played to the right side. Aspinall shoots one, save, rebound loose as a penalty is going to be signaled, and it looks like slashing the indication going against Barrie. And the Firebirds are going to have a 4-on-3 power play when we come back. 13:59 to go in the first period. Kayshawn Aitchison will take a seat, and the Firebirds and the Colts all even, 0-0 your score. We're back with the Birds on the LJ Inc. power play after this on the Firebirds Hockey Network.
What would you do with an extra $700? You can earn up to $700 per year with Boost Checking from Dort Financial Credit Union. Don't let your checking account just sit there. Boost Checking pays 7.0 annual percentage yield on balances up to $10,000. That's up to $700 extra to do what you love. For whatever you're thinking, dreaming, or doing, Boost Checking from Dort Financial. Fulfilling dreams, supporting community for over 70 years. Official credit union of the Flint Firebirds.
Welcome back into the Dort Financial Center. It's 0-0 here against the Barrie Colts. And last time they played just 15 days ago, the Colts won 5-3. Emil Hemming led the way for Barrie with 4 points. Ben Wilmot with 2 and Aitchison with 2 as well. Murata, Fellinger, and Anderson, the goal scorers for the Firebirds in that game.
Thank you, Zach McConsick. You'll hear from him again later on in today's telecast as the Firebirds to the power play. They get over for a one-time chance from Aspinall, and that's blocked on the way through. So Flint 4-on-3 as there's going to be just under a minute left worth of 4-on-3 before the Firebirds then have a normal 5-on-4 power play. Aspinall storming in, and the save made by Arvin Jaswal. So 46 seconds more worth of 4-on-3 with 13:37 to go here in this first period. Firebirds 0 and the Colts 0. Kayshawn Aitchison for slashing is what brings us here to this man advantage chance for the Birds, their first of the game. Firebirds been struggling a little bit on the power play as of late, though. Their last 6 games entering play today, 0 for 14. Birds win the face-off. It's Podrekar. Left wing corner Anderson for Podrekar. A shot and a kick save made by Jaswal. Goes all the way back down to the Firebirds end. Flint 20.5% on the power play for the season, tied for 9th in the OHL entering play today. As here is Nathan Aspinall. He brings it in right wing half wall. Aspinall to Padrekar. Urban Padrekar. High slot with space. Anderson stuffs. Is it in? They're celebrating. The goal horn went off, but they say no goal. They are signaling no goal. The Firebirds fans thought they had scored, but apparently Jaswal kept it out. And with 13:10 to go in the first period, the Birds looking skyward. They want to see a replay, as we'll show you one as well. Stuff attempt. Yeah, that hit the pipe and it did not go. It was still loose in the crease, and then, oh my, Jaswal jumps on it. Quick reflexes, and still with 19 more seconds worth of 4-on-3, it remains 0-0. Puck is cleared back down to the Firebirds' end. Slowed up by Vakari, handoff Padrekar, and here come the Birds the other way. It's Jimmy Lombardi trying to split the D as he runs in left wing corner. And that puck is eventually grabbed by Justin Hanser, who clears the zone successfully. We're at 5-on-4 now. Kostov freed from the box, and will stay out there for Flint, as that'll be brought out the other way. And it's the Colts to apply pressure on the forecheck, but Flint is on it. Mason Zabeski also fresh off of serving those 2 minutes. Staying out there on the penalty kill. Jacob Battaglia is in for Flint. Right side Pazzi. He backhands one along left wing, and it's picked up by Barrie. Cleared out, held in by Oljanski. Puck on the right side, Battaglia. On a handoff for Ignat Pazzi. Pazzi, bottom of the right circle. As he surveys, down low Battaglia. Battaglia finds Oljanski with space, shoots the puck, and a save by Jaswal. Along the left wing side, the Birds, with 3 seconds left on the power play, they're going to have to get it back in the neutral zone. Aitchison is free. Flint goes to 0 for 1 on the LJ Inc. power play. Battaglia steps in, left wing half wall. Battaglia in the corner now. Puck out towards Fellinger. Ryland Fellinger onto Kostov. Alex Kostov, down low Thibodeau. And in the left wing corner, Thibodeau to chase. He's shoved off the puck. It's swept backwards over for Justin Hanser to go over and get it. And Hanser does carry up into the neutral zone. Puck is run down by the Firebirds. Here with Dryden Allen, 11 minutes and 27 seconds to go in the first period. Flint nothing, Barrie nothing. Firebirds are pelting pucks at Arvin Jaswal. They've got 11 shots on goal. The Colts have only put 3 shots on the net of Mason Vakari thus far. On the far wing side, the Colts do get to it in their own zone as they send down in, and it's going to be an icing against Barrie with 11:10 to go here in this first period. So the Firebirds and the Colts, Flint trying to avoid making it back-to-back losses, coming off of the loss last time out against Windsor. Birds haven't lost consecutively often this season, as only 5 times in total Flint has lost back-to-back games, and that includes the 3 times that it happened on the 4-game losing streak early in the season. Birds only twice this season have lost consecutive regulation games, as that puck is worked along the near side, and it is taken away by Darian Anderson in the attacking zone. Now Jimmy Lombardi trying to get it free, and instead though Barrie back on at defensive end. And that puck worked out the other way by the Colts into the neutral zone. Firebirds pick it off, and let's go Firebirds chant rising here at the Dort Financial Center. Brad Gardner is in, had the puck roll on him, and Flint to run it down now along the far wing side. That will be carried up into the neutral zone as Luca Graziano has it over to the near side on to Nathan Aspinall. Aspinall to flip it forward, and it's Brady Smith on the chase, but the Colts get it back instead along the left wing side. Here they come with Emil Hemming. Dallas Stars prospect flipped it over to the right wing, and that puck pinned in the right wing corner. 10:20 to go in this first period. Still 0-0. The Birds bring it out the other way, and dumped in by George Komodowski. Jacob Battaglia is going to be first to it. He got checked behind the net, and over the far wing side, that is cleared out of there by Barrie. It's going to roll down for an icing as that's whistled with 10 minutes and 4 seconds to go in the first period. So the Firebirds nothing to the Colts nothing. Mason Vakari will get himself situated back in net as they bring the face-off back down to the opposite end. The Kevin He, Jacob Battaglia, and Brady Smith line out there. Battaglia have been playing center for the Firebirds for the last handful of games, which was not the norm for him as a Kingston Frontenac, but a face-off controlled by Barrie and cleared out the other way. Coaching staff liking what they're seeing in terms of what Battaglia is bringing as a center. Icing called against the Colts. 9:56 to go in the first period. Flint nothing, and Barrie nothing. Firebirds early on here, keeping the Colts in check. It's a team, though, that make life difficult on you in a handful of ways. Allow only 2.74 goals against per game. That's the fourth fewest in the Ontario Hockey League. Shot wide off the end boards. There's Smith, and it's shoveled over to the near side. Puck into the neutral zone. A bouncer that Cole Baudouin is on. Baudouin with a shot, and that one deflects wide of the net. There it is, run down by the Firebirds. Flipped up through center. Hemming is on it as he got run into. And along the far side, it's Aitchison. Puck poked off of his stick. Firebirds flip it forward off of Battaglia and up into the Barrie bench out of play. Aitchison and Thibodeau having a little bit of shoving back and forth, as those two will be separated. As that face-off will be taken at center ice, just in front of the Firebirds bench in the neutral zone. Puck down, controlled by the Birds, onto the near wing side for Daryl Oljanski. And Oljanski lost the handle on it as Kostov sends one forward. Puck is swept back in, though, by Eamon Edgar. And the Firebirds now with Luca Graziano get there. 9:10 first period. It's still 0-0. Long pass down the left side for Pazzi. As now Thibodeau got checked into the near wing boards. It's brought out of there by Desiderio. The Firebirds poke it through with Kostov. And eventually into the neutral zone. Daryl Oljanski right back to Graziano. And the puck gotten back for Oljanski. And brings it over the red line. Fed it to the right side. That's picked up by Justin Hanser. And worked up into the neutral zone. Dumped in for Graziano to chase. 8:35 to play in the first period. Flint nothing, Barrie nothing. Luca Graziano does hand it off for Mason Zabeski. For Dryden Allen. As that puck sent through center. Off the stick of Charlie Murata. And picked up by the Firebirds behind the net. Kostov looking for the trailing Pazzi. Couldn't find him, but Pazzi in the right wing corner now. Ignat Pazzi. Backside looking for Allen. Couldn't connect. And Dryden Allen does run it down again near wing side. Play it off the wall deeper into the corner. It is Cole Emerson, though, for Barrie. Checked along the boards. Firebirds now with Allen. Shot tipped. Chase. Shove. Score! Murata cleans up the mess. And Flint's on the board first. Well, the Firebirds just continuing to make life difficult on the Colts in the attacking zone. Tireless on the forecheck. Just throwing one to the front of the net. Charlie Murata got to it. Puck was behind Arvin Jaswal in the crease. Murata just scampers over there. Jaswal looking for it. Murata got there. And those two collide after the puck's in the net. Jaswal couldn't get back in time. Murata with his second against the Colts. His fourth of the season. And Flint leads 1-0 with 7:55 to go in the first period. So Charlie Murata, last time these two teams met up, picked up the goal, and for Murata, that was the game number 4 of a 4-game point streak, currently his OHL career high. Since then, he hasn't been on the scoreboard, at least until today, but seemingly Murata liking something he sees about the Barrie Colts. Here they come the other way now, and Lombardi's going to get dinged for a hooking here, but Solandra's into the shot, and he scores! Joe Solandra answers, glove side. Little flip up past Mason Vicari, and with 7:36 to go in the first, we're all square. It's 1-1. So there was going to be a delayed penalty against the Firebirds there. It will get washed out. Solandra bringing it in, and Breakaway to beat Vicari high on the glove side. Joe Salandra, the Harvard commit, with his 7th goal of the season. And with 7:36 to go in the first period, it's the Firebirds 1 and the Colts 1. Quite the answer from the Colts. We might be in for a bit of a seesaw affair here. Another good hockey game between Barrie and Flint. As the Firebirds send it up into the neutral zone, smacked right back in by Barrie. Here is Jacob Battaglia out the other way. Battaglia over the red line as he dumps it in and chases right wing corner. Battaglia far side, Kevin He. He looking to drop it off for Oljanski. And behind the net, it's Battaglia. There's He. Curling, right wing side, Kevin He. Blue line, Oljanski. Gave it on for He. Spins in, shoots, and it's blocked. Rebound, stuff attempt. Still working at it. Back out for He. Over to Oljanski with a shot of the save by Jaswal. 6:57 to go in the first period. Firebirds nothing. And the Colts nothing. Excuse me, Firebirds 1 and the Colts 1. Beg your pardon, as the Birds and the Colts all square here. Get another look at that. Chance for Flint. They've really got Arvin Jaswal moving. And the Firebirds, well, they keep creating chances like this. They're going to like what they see. 15 shots on goal already for Flint in this period. That puck is covered by Jaswal. Pretty quickly off the face-off. 6:54 to go in the first period. Flint 1, Barrie 1. And now off the draw, it's loose behind the net for the Firebirds to try and dig it out. And they poke it up ice, and here come the Colts the other way. Emil Hemming gains the zone. Hemming works in, and though there's a whistle and a penalty, and it's going to be interference called against Barrie. And it looks like Colbo Dwen is going to the box. There he is. Beaudoin, who shares the captaincy with Kayshawn Aitchison, wearing it here on the road whites. Aitchison wears it for the blue jerseys. We're in the scene when the Firebirds met up with Barrie 15 days ago on the road. So the Firebirds to the power play for the second time today. 0 for 1 on the LJ Inc. power play is Flint. And they've won the draw out for Urban Padrekar. Over to Aspinall, shoots one wide of the net. Picked up by Lombardi. Padrekar just inside the blue line. Left wing He. Here's Padrekar. Shoots, tipped, save by Jaswal. In the slot there, it was Jimmy Lombardi to get his stick on it as Jaswal summons a whistle with 6:22 to go in the first period. Face-off controlled by the Colts. Working along the left wing side. Puck is brought up through center and flipped in for the Firebirds to get back on it. Padrekar. All right, send it up into the neutral zone. Run down though by Barrie, playing a little bit of keep away here while shorthanded. Colts penalty kill 79.5% successful, 9th best in the OHL. And that's worked in. Left wing side as Flint does swoop over to it and picks it up in the form of Jimmy Lombardi. Lombardi starts his journey the other way. Into the attacking zone now. He's all the way behind the net. Jimmy Lombardi lost the puck. Aitchison will clear it. And there is Vicari to slow it up and give it off to Daryl Oljanski. 5.5 minutes to go in the first period. 50 seconds remain on the power play for Flint. Pazzi gains the zone, but they're offside. Battaglia was in early. Now with 5:23 to go in the first period, it's still Flint 1 and Barrie 1. So the Firebirds start the scoring. Charlie Murata from Dryden Allen. And Joe Salandra unassisted on a breakaway to answer for Barrie. Just 19 seconds later, a bit of a false start on that face-off. They're going to have to reload it right in front of the Barrie bench. As we wait for the clock to be properly reset, another nice crowd here in Flint making some noise. And a face-off controlled by the Colts, who play up into the neutral zone. Firebirds on it. Kostoff. He dumps it in, and Passmore to swoop over for it. They clear it all the way back down to the Birds' end. 30 seconds to go on this power play chance. Firebirds, who at times have been so good on the power play this season, in a bit of a slump with the man advantage as they work it along to Battaglia. On to Oljanski just inside the blue line. Kostoff, left wing half wall. Kostoff shoots it and hit a stick, sails up into the screen. That's out of play. 4:49 to go in the first. 11 seconds remain on the power play chance for Flint in a 1-1 game. As Jacob Battaglia wins the draw, it's Oljanski. Right back to Battaglia, outside the circle. Battaglia drags to the backhand, stuffs it on net, still loose. Oh, quick whistle as Jaswal does cover it. Puck seemed to be loose there in the crease, but now at 4:39 to go in the first period, Flint won and Barrie won. 1 second remains on the power play. Looking at that again, as that's what we're seeing really, is the Firebirds just kind of swarming Jaswal. They are making this second-year goaltender pretty uncomfortable back there. He was a 6th-round pick in the 2024 OHL draft. Jaswal, though, a rookie this season in his 15th career OHL game. So at 4 minutes and 32 seconds to go in the first period, we're going to get ourselves a timeout as the Firebirds won and the Barrie Colts won. As we got a good one on our hands here on this Friday night in Flint and on the Firebirds Hockey Network.
But Tavares keeps it going, and it's John Tavares behind the net. Coming out in front, John scores! John Tavares! They finally caught lightning in a bottle!
It's all tied up 1-1 at the Dordt Financial Center in this cross-conference matchup between the Barrie Colts and the Flint Firebirds.
And as the Firebirds and the Colts get right back to it, sorry about that, Zach. We'll dump it in right wing corner, and that is taken back out along the wall. Hemming into the neutral zone. Puck is bounced back down for the Firebirds over to get it with Ryland Fellinger, who swoops back behind the net. And they bring it up ice, right wing onto Anderson. Instead taken away by Barrie down the right wing side. Hemming in on net, shot turned aside by Vakari. And played back out into the neutral zone, or towards the neutral zone for the long-range shot. And the save made by Mason Vakari. 3 minutes and 58 seconds to go in the first period. Birds 1, Colts 1. Darian Anderson and company heading over to the bench. Firebirds cycling through their lines as Flint and Barrie here on this Friday night. Barrie kicking off their Mid-Michigan road swing. They're heading to Saginaw tomorrow. Flint home ice against the Sarnia Sting tomorrow evening. Faceoff controlled by the Colts, shot blocked. And Emerton, second chance, blocked on the way through as well for Battaglia to go back and get it. And puck is worked along the right side. Oljanski shove into the neutral zone. Graziano near side for Kevin He. He is in. A little drop pass to Battaglia. Shot blocked on the way through, and the Colts to bring it out the other way. Up into the neutral zone. Flint trying to get on it as they work it backwards for Graziano. Luca Graziano, 3:23 to go in the first period. Graziano in for Battaglia. That is taken away by Brad Gardner, who skates over the right wing side into the attacking zone. And the Firebirds force back up through center. There, Parker Von Richter is on it now. On Richter to Solandra, who will be offside. Apparently he never quite got back into the neutral zone as they tried to hit him for that stretch pass. And Joe Solandra, who has the only Barrie goal, that close to being off to the races. Parker von Richter, I don't think, liked the call based on that facial expression that he just made. Faceoff controlled by Flint. Padrekar on to Murata. And Charlie Murata. Now Fellinger. Shot was tipped. And the puck to the far side. The Firebirds will shovel it back behind the net. Schneid out the other way for Barrie. And Flint clogging things up in the neutral zone. Charlie Murata, who has the goal for the Firebirds. Able to poke check that one free. Fellinger back over to Padrekar. And that puck along the far side. It's the Colts to sling it over to the near wing. Von Richter. Shot tipped in front. And it will skitter wide. And it's Calvin Crombie now. That shot goes up and over the crossbar for Flint to run it down again. Cunningham. Back to Padrekar. And the puck brought through center. The Colts do get it back, and they will now cycle back into the neutral zone. Kostov got it knocked off of his stick, and Barrie tried to stretch it out towards Crombie. He rolled in for an icing call. 1:58 to go in the first period. Flint 1, Barrie 1. So you've met our ringside reporter today, Zach McConsick. He'll be talking with the Firebirds goal scorer Charlie Murata at the first intermission. Coming up in the first intermission, we get that quick conversation with Charlie, as well as the Firebirds and the Colts highlights from that first period of play. Look at the out-of-town scoreboard, talk about what's coming up next for the Firebirds. A lot more coming up the first intermission report. Hope you can stick around. Let me say a special hello to those of you taking advantage of the OHL Friday Night Faceoff. It's game free on the OHL and FloHockey social media channels. Puck along the far side, the Firebirds working to the left wing with Kostov. He shoots, and the save made by Jaswal. On to Chris Thibodeau, left wing half wall. Thibodeau hands off to Pazzi. And Pazzi into the left wing corner. Thibodeau still after it. And it's Beaudoin working on him. Pazzi is still loose behind the net. Minute and 21 seconds to go in the first period. It's the Firebirds 1 and the Colts 1. Flint already with 20 shots on goal. Broken out towards Hemming. And the pass was a little bit off target as Emil Hemming does run it down. And the puck is worked along near wing side and fed back over for Oljanski. 1 minute to go in the first period as the Colts are on it with Emil Hemming left wing corner. Hemming to Aitchison. Right side, Passmore. Passmore shoots one, tipped on the way through. Beaudoin a shot, and they save with a blocker by Vakari. And another chance for Hemming as Vakari shuts that one down as well. 47.6 to play in the first. Still Flint 1 and Barrie 1. Nice blocker save by Mason Vakari. Beaudoin tried a little change up. Flip it past him on the blocker's side, but Vakari able to get over there to make the stop, availing himself well. 7 saves for Mason Vakari so far, as the Firebirds win the draw and they clear the zone. No icing, Evan Passmore is first to it. Rangers prospect behind the net, hassled by Lombardi, and Jimmy Lombardi will track it back down the other way. Lombardi on the near wing side. That'll be bounced along to be picked up by Zabeski. Over to the far wing. Aitchison with a shot. That's blocked. Solandra behind the net. The Firebirds get to it, and they bring it out now with Lombardi. 18 seconds to go in the period. Aspinall. Right side, Lombardi. That's forced into the neutral zone. Padrekar with 10 seconds. Urban Padrekar dumped in right wing corner. Aitchison is on it with the last 5 seconds of this first period. They'll just let the first period expire. So it's the Firebirds 1 and the Colts 1. Flint definitely the better of the play in the offensive zone, more chances in that first period. They cash in with a goal from Charlie Murata, who will be our intermission guest. But Barrie, though, answers as Joe Salandra on the breakaway. Evens things up one aside. Shots on goal favor the Birds 20-8. As that means 19 saves for Arvin Jaswal and 7 on the Firebirds side of things for Mason Vicari. Now the Firebirds making their way down the tunnel. They're getting set to take a little bit of a breather. And as they do that, we'll welcome you inside our broadcast booth. Hello, I'm Brian Gardner. Thanks for being here. Zach McConzick will have a quick word with Charlie Murata outside the Firebirds dressing room in just a few moments as the lone goal scorer of the period for the Firebirds, who swooped over and cleaned up the mess in the crease. That got the scoring started. Barrie, though, quickly answered, and we've got ourselves an entertaining hockey game. 1-1's the score after one period of play. Firebirds got to be happy with the way they played in that first period, as hurling 20 shots on net. That'll do just fine for Flint, as they do have a 1-1 game here, though, against Barrie. As the Colts coming into town, first of 2 games they're playing in Michigan, and the Firebirds trying to knock off Barrie, even up that season series after they fell to the Colts 5-3 15 days ago on the road. So Flint and Barrie, as it is a entertaining one here today so far on the OHL's Friday night face-off game. And you're seeing a lot of talent out there on the ice, NHL drafted and rising as well, as we got plenty more where this opening 20 minutes came from in terms of entertainment to come between the Firebirds and the Barrie Colts. So for the Birds, trying to break this deadlocked 1-1 tie, and the Colts got to be feeling okay with how they're sitting after 20 minutes of play, as Zach McConzick is ready downstairs, so we'll throw it down to him and Charlie Murata.
Thanks, Brian. Charlie, walk me through that goal that you just scored. It's the lone goal in the period. You were kind of flying through the ice on that one.
Yeah, the guys had a good forecheck there. It led to that goal, and good shot by D-man Dryden Allen, and the rebound fortunately popped out to me, and just kind of tapped it in there.
You got 2 goals in just as many games against Barrie. Is there something in particular that you like about this team when you play them?
I try to take every game the same, but yeah, I guess I've gotten lucky against Barrie a couple times here now. So
20 shots for the team in that first period. How do you carry that momentum over into the second?
Yeah, just keep playing like that. We started fantastic in the first period, and just keep it going.
Perfect. Appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Back upstairs to you, Brian.
Thank you, Zach. Thank you, Chucky. The Firebirds won and the Barrie Colts won. And no secret sauce, I guess, for Murata and the Colts. He says he's gotten lucky a couple of times. Absolutely love. When we were in Barrie, Murata scored a goal. He ended up celebrating with his teammates right next to a sign that friends or family must have brought that simply said, "Murata is the GOAT." Barrie Colts fans might think there might be something to that, as it's Flint 1 and Barrie 1. The Firebirds getting on the board thanks to that work from the rookie, as he made it 1-0. Barrie did answer. We got highlights to show you and more when we come back on the first intermission report. Flint 1, Barrie 1 after 1 on the Firebirds Hockey Network.
What would you do with an extra $700? You can earn up to $700 per year with Boost Checking from Dort Financial Credit Union. Don't let your checking account just sit there. Boost Checking pays 7.0 annual percentage yield on balances up to $10,000. That's up to $700 extra to do what you love. For whatever you're thinking, dreaming, or doing, Boost Checking from Dort Financial. Fulfilling dreams, supporting community for over 70 years. Official credit union of the Flint Firebirds.
Pirani's Hockey World, dominating the game since 1976. From rookies to pros, we've got the gear to give you the edge. Bauer, CCM, Warrior, True, every brand you trust. Every level of play, sticks, skates, training gear, you name it, we've got it. Stay at the top of your game with Bauer Pro Sharp Advantage Skate Sharpening. Precision so sharp, it's like skating on air. Plus, join our free loyalty program and score points on every dollar spent. Don't settle. Gear up where the competition shops. Pirani's Hockey World, the toy store for the hockey player. Find your nearest location today.
Welcome to 2026, a year of exciting changes and fresh beginnings. It's the perfect time to embrace new possibilities and drive into the year with confidence. Why not start this new chapter with a brand new Chevy, like the Chevy Silverado 1500 or the 2026 Chevy Equinox? A great selection is available right here at Shea Chevrolet. I'm Mackenzie Miller, and this is your year to make a change. Visit us at Shea Chevrolet, and let's make 2026 a year to remember. Just saying.
Located in the heart
Firebirds 1, Colts 1. After one period of play, Flint and Barrie all knotted up here at the first intermission, and seems like we got a fun one on our hands between the Birds and the Colts. Let's get a look at how we got to this point with our first period highlights, and we'll pick things up. A little bit of chaos coming the way of Arvin Jaswal. Look at that puck just rolling loose in the crease. Josh Colosimo saw it. Jaden Newton saw it a little bit quicker as he scoops that thing out of there and away from harm's way. And then Darian Anderson hits a post. Jaswal able to cover, but the Firebirds, third time's going to be the charm here. Charlie Murata, and it had to be a greasy goal, didn't it? Murata off the rebound, able to shove it home. Dryden Allen took the initial shot. Look at the Birds, though, just not letting the Colts out. Murata, get pucks to the net, good things going to happen. Charlie Murata able to throw that in off the Dryden Allen shot. Murata's fourth of the season made it 1-0, but quickly thereafter, just as Evan Passmore drew a hooking penalty on Jimmy Lombardi, it's Joe Salandra the other way to flip it home on the breakaway. Kind of washes out the would-be power play chance for Salandra and the Colts as he scores, and Barrie evens things up one aside. So the Firebirds and the Colts, after now 20 minutes of play, that's where we've landed here with Flint and Barrie. As for Flint, they get the goal from Murata. He gave all the credit to the forecheck and the D-man getting puck through from Dryden Allen. And on the other side of things, Mason Vicari can't stop that breakaway chance with 7 saves on 8 shots. How about Arvin Jaswal, who faced 20 shots in that first period, and Firebirds were just swarming him, making life really difficult, getting pucks through to the front of the net, and a lot of traffic created. You saw pucks loose in the crease, posts hit, and eventually Murata did shove that one in, but Flint's got to like the process here. It seemed like Charlie Murata, when he talked with Zach downstairs, was feeling pretty confident about what the team was playing, and I got to imagine they're saying something similar to, hey, more of the same, keep it rolling going into the second period for the Firebirds. We'll see if the Colts are able to weather the storm against the Birds as we roll along here on the first intermission report. It's the Firebirds 1 and the Colts 1. Again, we've continue here on the intermission report. When we come back, we'll get a look at what else is going on a busy Friday night in the Ontario Hockey League. That and more coming up after this on the Firebirds Hockey Network.
For nearly a century, Goyette Mechanical has been a Flint and Mid-Michigan's business partner. Goyette is a Flint-based family-owned business. We were born and raised here. We went to school here. We live here and play here, employing hundreds of Michigan residents. Goyette Mechanical, a committed Michigan company providing the best in plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical sales and service, and 100% satisfaction guaranteed. A big reason why you gotta get Goyette.
Gotta get Goyette!
It's the Firebirds 1 and the Colts 1. Flint and Barrie at the first intermission. It was the Zambonis getting to work at the Dort Financial Center. Everyone's taking a breather, but we're still rolling here on FHN. Glad to have you here. However, you're tuned in today. Thanks for being with us as the Firebirds kicking off the first of 2 games on home ice this week as they welcome the Barrie Colts, the leaders of the OHL Central Division, second place in the Eastern Conference. Other games going on around the Ontario Hockey League today feature the Owen Sound Attack and the Brantford Bulldogs. It's 1-1 after 1. Now Owen Sound, a team that has really been scuffling for Owen Sound. They entered play today After their win last time out, only 2 wins in their previous 8, as they've kind of tumbled down the standings a bit, but well, they're giving Brantford everything they can handle early on. Tristan DeLille with his 23rd of the season. Merrick Van Acker answered with his 35th, though, late in the first period, as it's Brantford 1 and Sound 1. The Sioux Greyhounds have a 1-0 lead over the Erie Otters. They've been playing good hockey, only 6 points back of the Firebirds, sitting 4th place in the Western Conference. Carter George has been really good. 5 saves on 5 shots in this game in Erie. Christopher Brown with his 17th, the only goal scorer so far in that one. The Windsor Spitfires and the Kitchener Rangers are currently the top 2 teams in the Western Conference, as Windsor, Kitchener, and Flint, only 2 points in total separate those 3 teams. Well, Kitchener on home ice, availing themselves well. Hayden Ellis with his 10th, Dylan Edwards with his 26th. Kitchener could find itself in first place in the Western Conference after play today, depending on how everything shakes out. The London Knights, 0, and the North Bay Battalion, 0. That's at the first intermission in London. Goaltending battle between Alexei Medvedev and Jack Lisson, both of whom have made 9 saves on 9 shots faced. The Ottawa 67s have a 2-0 lead over the Peterborough Petes. 2 goals for the former Firebird Sam McHugh, only healthy after he had been injured in his first game as a member of the 67s. Missed a lot of time, but back in there and making a bit of a difference for Ottawa as they continue to fight for first place in the Eastern Conference. Sudbury Wolves 1 and the Kingston Frontenacs 1. Don't look now, but Kingston has been playing really good hockey as of late. The Fronts picking things up as they look to make it their 3rd win in a row. And well, for Kingston in this game, they have a goal from Kieran Dervin. Ethan Dean started the scoring for Sudbury. And again, it's 1-1 between Kingston and Sudbury. The Oshawa Generals 2 and the Niagara Ice Dogs 1. That's at the first intermission in Oshawa. Jakub Kromiak with a lone goal for the Ice Dogs. It was Lucas Moore and Ani Calto who have scored for the Gens. Saginaw Spirit are visiting the Sarnia Sting. Now, those are the 2 teams that each of our teams here today, the Firebirds and the Barrie Colts, will see tomorrow. It's Barrie at Saginaw tomorrow. Sarnia visiting Flint tomorrow. Well, in their game, it's 1-1. Brenner Lamans with his 6th of the season. Igor Barabanov with his 19th for Saginaw. At the first intermission, it's 1-1. And finally in Guelph, the Brampton Steelheads have a 1-0 lead over the Guelph Storm on Keaton Arda, his 9th goal of the season. Well, the Firebirds coming up after this one. Flint, as we mentioned, tomorrow it's the Sarnia Sting in town as Firebirds play host to the Sting, a team that really has given them fits this season. Flint did beat Sarnia last time those 2 teams met up with a 7-4 victory for Flint. It's back-to-back games against Sarnia, as the following week we'll see the Firebirds head over to Sarnia to take on the Sting for a 7 o'clock puck drop on Wednesday, February the 4th. Birds then will head north to the Sioux, take on the Sioux Greyhounds on Friday the 6th, 1 week from today, and a week from tomorrow. The Firebirds will be back on home ice to take on the Erie Otters now. And that game is going to be the annual Healthcare Heroes Night, sponsored by Sovita Credit Union and Genesee Health Plan. Firebirds taking on the Erie Otters, and all healthcare employees can receive a free ticket at the Dordt Financial Center box office with proof of employment. Now those tickets are courtesy of Sovita Credit Union and the Genesee Health Plan, the game night sponsors for that evening's games. The Firebirds continuing the tradition of giving thanks to the healthcare workers here who keep the community healthy. So in our game, the Firebirds won and the Barrie Colts won after 1 period of play. Flint and Barrie all knotted up. It was the Firebirds who put 20 shots on goal in that first period. Barrie had 8. For Flint, now that was one of the more prolific first periods in terms of putting shots on goal. The Firebirds, in fact, that's the most shots they've had in a single period this season. Previously, Flint had 19 in the first period of a win over the London Knights, 3-2 on home ice on November the 12th. See if the Firebirds can convert some more of these shots into goals when we come back after this. It's Flint 1 and Barrie 1. We'll take a break. Second period puck drop coming up next on the Firebirds Hockey Network.
Let Shea uplift your service experience. Here's our process. As soon as you enter the Shea service lane, one of our service consultants will greet and listen to your service needs. Then we prepare your vehicle to be serviced by one of our trained expert technicians. You can relax in your waiting room with complimentary refreshments. Your service consultant will keep you updated throughout the process. Your vehicle will be returned to you all clean and serviced. I'm Jesse Lopez. Now that's uplifting. Just saying.
Even your home is sick of its old windows. Time to kick those old, drafty panes to the curb and upgrade to the energy-efficient Michigan window. For 1 week only, save 60% off installation or no interest for 72 months on all new custom vinyl window projects. All on top of our already unbeatable factory direct prices. D&W, trusted home improvements built over 3 generations.
Wow, I can't believe we're in here. Does Justin know you're doing this?
Look at this beauty. He inducted himself.
You can do that?
Of course you can't do that.
Smells like a teenager.
I'm sorry, but I don't speak French. But that's not the reason I cheer for the Leafs.
Flint Firebirds hockey is even better with a group. The Firebirds offer discounted tickets for groups of 10 or more people for any of our home games. Perfect for entertaining clients, celebrating a special occasion, or just having a fun night out with family, friends, or coworkers. We have the easy and affordable plan for you. Plus, the bigger the group, the bigger the discount. For more information, visit flintfirebirds.com or contact the Dort Financial Center box office to book your group outing today.
The Ontario Hockey League, more than just a game.
Schaefer sprung loose and he scored!
On the ice, the OHL is the #1 provider of talent to the National Hockey League, developing the game's next stars. Off the ice, giving back matters. Since 2010, OHL teams have invested over $41 million in scholarships and raised nearly $8 million annually for charities in minor hockey, shaping futures beyond the rink. Excellence on the ice, opportunity beyond it. The Ontario Hockey League, where the journey begins.
Firebirds 1, Colts 1 as they're back on the ice for the second period. Teams will switch ends. We'll see what the middle 20 has in store. I'm Brian Gardner, glad to have you here today. Thanks for tuning in here on the OHL's Friday night Faceoff Game of the Week. Special hello to those of you on the OHL social channels and FloHockey social channels as well. Glad you can check out Firebirds hockey as Flint and Barrie. Two teams with big aspirations sitting at the top or near the top of their conferences. Points at a premium as we are getting down to it. Firebirds playing game number 48 out of 68 in their regular season. 20 minutes going up on the clock. Let's see what the second period has in store for us. Puck down. That's controlled by Barrie. Eventually, we're underway. As a delayed penalty already against the Firebirds. They're in with a chance from Hemming that goes wide. Extra attacker coming on as Jaswal makes it to the bench. And just as he does it, it's touched up by the Firebirds. High sticking the call. No Firebird seems to realize who's being called for it. Looks like Darian Anderson is our lucky contestant, as he will sit and Flint will head right to the penalty kill. So this is right off the draw. Anderson, stick gets a little loose there. Must have caught the cold underneath the visor as he was trying to extract out of the bit of a scrum as the Firebirds win the D-zone draw and they clear it out the other way. All the way back down, the Colts go over to get it. And Barrie will work it up ice. They're heading to the power play here for the first time today, are the Colts. The Firebirds will swoop it over to the far side. Rolling all the way back down, Parker Von Richter gets there for Barrie. 40 seconds gone in the second period. As Flint has killed off 30 seconds worth of this power play now. It is brought through by Baudouin. Left wing to Salandra. And behind the net now, the Firebirds over along the near side. They're on it. as they play it forward to Kevin He, and Kevin He is in with a shorthanded breakaway. Doesn't get it off clean. Second chance thrown on net, and Jaswal made the save. Well, the speed of Kevin He really made that happen out of nowhere. And Jaswal was sitting back and waiting, as now he in the attacking zone for Kostov. Alex Kostov creates some space. Kostov behind the net now as he wraps it to the far side. Shot saved. Jaswal. Von Richter picks it up with 42 seconds remaining on the power play chance, as that'll fly up into the stands and out of play. 18:25 to go here in period number 2, and 39 seconds remaining on the Barrie power play. Brad Gardner, their overager. He had been a third-round pick of the Dallas Stars in 2023, now an NHL free agent after the Stars did not ink him to his NHL entry-level contract before the clock on his rights timed out. And that's brought in now by Gardner on the left wing side. And bounced along for the Firebirds to clear it out the other way. Chris Thibodeau on his horse. Emerton got back, and as they touch it up, blown dead to be played with a high stick. 18:03 to go in the second period. 17 seconds remain on the power play chance for the Birds. Excuse me, for the Colts, as the Firebirds shorthanded here in the attacking zone. Down and controlled by Barrie. And the Colts will bring it out the other way. Just over the logo, they'll gain it on the right side. Emerson in the right wing corner. That puck loose behind for Zabeski. Near side Gardner. Firebirds have killed it off. Wilmot. Right side shot was blocked. Emerton took it, and Allen got in the way. Dryden Allen assisted on the Firebirds goal in the first. His clearing attempt doesn't get out. Zabeski in the left wing corner. And the puck is worked on by Colosimo. It popped over to the far side. Eliasson backhands one in, and Flint is on it instead. As they flip it up through center. Grabbed by Gardner. Left side Crombie. That puck is picked up by Luca Graziano with 17:13 to go in the second period. Flint 1, Barrie 1. Firebirds gain the zone. Colosimo in, shoots, score! Josh Colosimo, top shelf. The Firebirds take the lead back. All right, that was a fortuitous one for the Firebirds. It turns into a 2-on-1 out of nowhere, and Colosimo capitalizes in a big way. They had Darian Anderson with them, but Colosimo just walking in that snapshot high will make it 2-1 Firebirds. Josh Colosimo with his 4th of the season. And with 17:06 to go in the second, Flint's up by 1. It's 2-1. Colts win the draw. As Eliasson over to the far side for Evan Passmore. That is dumped in, and we've got an icing call against Barrie. 3 minutes and 3 seconds gone in this second period. Flint 2, Barrie 1. So Jacob Battaglia brings his group onto the ice to take that ozone face-off that is won by Will Schneid, and here they come the other way, the Colts through center. Schneid on his horse after it, just over the red line, and will be dumped in, and it is bounced along over to the left wing. Oljanski on it there. Daryl's Oljanski. Handoff near side Fellinger. Stretch pass up to Smith. It is chipped in, and Kayshawn Aitchison gets to it. On the far wing, Newton checked by He. And the puck through center is brought in for the Firebirds to run it down. They gave it over near wing side. Puck brought out up into the neutral zone. Schneid to hack it along. And that's going to be blown dead. 16:10 to go in the second period. Flint 2, Barrie 1. And the puck will be brought back into the neutral zone. Birds win the draw back to Luca Graziano. As he gets it onto the left wing side, they played it back towards Lombardi. Bounced off of his skates, rolled back in. Aitchison is on it, and he'll break it out to Wilmot. Up through center, right wing, they'll chip and chase, and Emil Hemming is after it for the Firebirds to get over to it once again. Anderson, he snapped that one through center. Aspinall is after it into the attacking zone. Aspinall, they played it back towards his forehand. And the puck over to the far side. Aspinall to give it off to Anderson as that cycled over to the right wing where the Colts do motor it through center. Baudouin in, left side, Wilmot. Shot was blocked. Graziano couldn't get there. Now Wilmot along the near wing. And Baudouin right back behind the net. Jimmy Lombardi to chase, far side. Baudouin on the wall. Out to the high slot. Baudouin, handoff Hanser. Shot hit a skate on the way through, and the Firebirds first to it with Aspinall. 15 minutes, 3 seconds to play in the second period. Birds up by 1. It's 2-1 Flint. On the near wing side, that'll be sent in by Edgar. And now Urban Pandrekar for the Firebirds. That is touched into the neutral zone. Edgar gets on it, played it right back. We're now Hanser. I'll flip into the neutral zone. Firebirds with Graziano. Graziano played off the boards, and Newton now sent it forward towards Desiderio. Puck is played back into the neutral zone for Alex Kostov. Kostov finds Pazzi with some space. Pazzi shoots, shrugged away by Jaswal. Now Newton back in the defensive zone for the Colts. They'll exit the zone up through center to Hanser onto the right wing side. They bring it along for Newton, right wing half wall. Thibodeau got a stick in the way, and that now is in that far wing corner of the Colts to get to it. Firebirds with some pressure from Kostov. 6 minutes gone in this second period. 2-1 Flint. As the Colts over to the left side, Eliason didn't get the shot off. Barrie had to get his first shot on goal in this period. As Eliason to the right wing now. That shot hit a body on the way through. Now Zabeski behind the net. Former Brampton Steelhead. Onto the near side for Eliason. And that puck is poked up into the neutral zone again, where Eliason will get back on it in the defensive zone. Played it up the right side. Puck is chipped in deep, and we've got a whistle and an icing call against the Colts. 13 minutes, 30 seconds to play in the second period. Flint 2, Barrie 1. Firebirds lead by 1 here in the second on FHN.
(2-1) Firebirds is our score here in the Door Financial Center in this cross-conference matchup. Flint this season 8-6-0-1 versus the Eastern Conference and 4-4-0-0 against the Central Division. On the flip side, Barrie 10-4-1-3 versus the Western Conference and sitting at 2-1-1-2 versus the West Division.
Thank you, Zach. Firebirds and the Barrie Colts in this rare matchup. Only twice per season these two teams see one another. Yeah, the Firebirds have beaten up a little bit on their own conference and looking to show what they can do against the East a little bit more as they cycle over to the far side, and that is poked up along by Cunningham into the neutral zone. Cunningham will chase, and Eliason is on to the defensive end. And it's played to the far side by Barrie. Up into the neutral zone, Rylan Fellinger for the Birds. And now up ahead to the left side where Flint gives chase, but Eliason is on it. Zabeski, he dumps it in, and that's stopped and kept alive by the Birds. On the near wing side, Hanser intercepts. It's dumped in deep. Rylan Fellinger for Flint. He tried to play it behind the net, over to the far side for Allen. And Dryden Allen will do it himself, bringing it out of the defensive zone. Gets over the red line and backhands one in. Good enough for a change of lines for the Firebirds. 12 minutes and 20 seconds. Let's go in this second period. Crombie. He gave it back. As now it's Cole Emerton. Dumped in deep, and Flint with Graziano in the defensive zone. Luca Graziano there for Oljanski. Daryl's Oljanski ahead towards Smith. As that puck rolled away from him, back down for Emerton to go over and get it. It's over 8 minutes gone here in this second period. 2-1 Firebirds. And the difference right now, goal scored by Josh Colosimo earlier in this period. Chris Thibodeau, Dryden Allen picking up the helpers on that. Allen has 2 assists today. Also assisted on the Charlie Murata goal. Got the scoring started in the first. Kayshawn Aitchison. He gains the zone. Aitchison shoots one over the crossbar. And now the Firebirds with Battaglia over to Komodowski. And back for Jacob Battaglia on the defensive end. Battaglia on to Komodowski. And here come the Birds into the attacking zone. Komodowski to rim one in. Passmore's on it. And that puck over to the near side. Battaglia in for Anderson. Shot didn't get off. Now he got stick checked on the way through. Puck out of play with 11 minutes and 8 seconds to go in the second. (2-1) Firebirds lead the Colts. 11:08 to play in the second period. It'll be good to see this Lombardi, Anderson, and Aspinall trio get rolling the way they had been a little bit earlier in the season. Aspinall still tied for the league lead with 62 points entering play today, but Kieran Walton has now drawn even with him. First time in quite some time that Aspinall did not have sole possession of the OHL scoring lead. It's Wilmot over to the right side. That is sent in, and the Firebirds will play after it and try and work it forward with Anderson. Instead, Beaudoin left side. One-time chance. Aitchison turned away by Vakari. And the puck out to the blue line. Passmore sends it back in behind the net. Wilmot looking to feed one in front. And Wilmot on the far side. And they look it back out towards Passmore. Backhands one in. Jimmy Lombardi onto the near wing for Anderson. And they'll look to work it out. Instead, it's Beaudoin left wing corner. Fellinger got ridden into the wall. And Firebirds now with Jimmy Lombardi. Looking for some space. Tries to find Anderson. High into the air it goes. Darian Anderson after it. And it's the Colts instead. As we're at the halfway point of the game. 30 minutes down, 30 to go. There's Ben Wilmot. He gains it. Left side onto Newton. Shot high and wide. And it will bounce over to the right side. It's Von Richter. Spin and shoot, and that's blocked as well. Chris Thibodeau to bring it out for Flint. On to Alex Kostov. Kostov gains the zone, storming in. Kostov, shot save, rebound chance, also stopped. And the puck on the near wing side. It's sent back into the neutral zone. Padrekar over to Thibodeau. Lost an edge right along the blue line. Now Desiderio, the Providence College commit. They'll give a chase, and looks like they're going to call icing against the Colts. 9 minutes and 25 seconds to play in the second period. Still all Firebirds on the shots on goal battle. 26 of them for Flint. 6 shots on goal in this period. Barrie with 11. 3 shots in this period. Kostov wins the draw clean for the Birds on to Graziano. And looking along to Thibodeau, but it's Eliasson to take it away for Barrie. Big D-man, the Ottawa prospect. Played it along the right side. Knocked out of midair, and Von Richter is on it for Barrie. There's Eliasson. Back over to the right wing, Parker Von Richter. Just over the red line, he dumps the puck in. And along the near wing side, the Firebirds get there with Thibodeau. He played it back to Oljanski. Daryl's Oljanski, defensive end. Near side, Graziano. And now Kostov backwards to Graziano with 8:45 to play in the second. Luca Graziano gives it to Pazzi. As Ignat Pazzi will shake his way forward. Pazzi worked into the right wing corner. He's drawn a penalty. That's touched up by Barrie, and the Firebirds are heading to the power play for the third time today. Tripping is going to be the call. And Keishon Aitchison to the box. Ignat Pazzi doing good work to draw it. And Aitchison, the New York Islanders prospect, taken in the first round by the Islanders. 17th overall in the 2025 NHL draft. And that's what's going to send him to the penalty box. He didn't like the call. Palms go skyward right away. Like his stick down around the skates of Ignat Pazzi as Pazzi worked his way into the corner. So the Firebirds 0 for 2 on the LJ Inc. power play. They'll get their third crack at things. Trying to snap that power play drought. 0 for their last 16 over the last 7 games, including tonight's. It's Colbo Dwen, shorthanded for Barrie. They'll play keep away and clear the zone, and Podrekar does track it down for Flint defensive end. Podrekar over to the left side. It's Hemming. Now for Barrie, dumped into the corner as the Firebirds are on it defensive zone. For Flint, it's Podrekar. Up along the right side, Jimmy Lombardi backhands one into the corner as they shovel it to the far wing side. The puck is worked behind the net and backhanded up the ice and rolled back down to the Firebird zone. As that is slowed up by Vakari, 7:42 to play in the second period. Flint 2, Barrie 1. Firebirds on the power play for another 65 seconds as Podrekar rimmed into the right wing side. Aspinall along the wall to Lombardi, and Jimmy Lombardi back to Aspinall. Shoots, tipped, rebound loose in front, still hacked at, and eventually covered by Jaswal. 50 seconds remain on the power play chance for the Firebirds. 7:21 to go in the second. A 2-1 hockey game as the Firebirds lead the Colts. So Flint will get things situated still in the offensive zone here. Firebirds starting to ramp up on this power play a bit, getting more chances. Feels like a matter of time here as the Birds win the face-off onto Pazzi. Ignat Pazzi. He played it behind for Battaglia. Over to the far wing side, back along to Oljanski. Now Kostov snapping it over to Pazzi. Ignat Pazzi. Eliasson working on him. Oljanski with some space. One-time chance for Kostov. Jaswal made the save. Looked like he collided with Von Richter and fell down at his teammate's contact. Shot by Pazzi and another save by Jaswal. Up into the screen, out of play. 6:50 second period. 19 seconds to go on the power play. Still 2-1 Firebirds. Jacob Battaglia, the longtime Kingston Frontenac. 3 goals in his time as a Firebird. Out there with the power play unit. As Flint working on the right wing circle for this face-off. Kostov, Battaglia, Thibodeau, Allen, and Oljanski to finish out the power play chance. And a brief moment, they're going to put a couple of seconds back up on the clock after that puck was dropped, and they're going to get 3 seconds back up on the power play clock. 19 seconds to go on it. And after that, it's a clean face-off win for the Utah Mammoth prospects, Colbo Dwen. And they'll hammer it all the way down towards Mason Vakari's end. And the Firebirds now from their own zone. Oljanski to ramp it up one more time. Drop pass Kostov. Alex Kostov in the left wing corner. Power play has expired. Aitchison is free. So Flint goes to 0 for 3 with the LJ Inc. power play. And right behind the net, the Colts do get to it. They'll send into the neutral zone. Dryden Allen with it there. Allen left side Kostov. They gain it for Thibodeau. Chris Thibodeau shoots and a save by Jaswal. As that puck's still alive, it's cleared back down to the Firebirds end. Rylan Fellinger on his horse. And they work it forward onto Battaglia. Couldn't get it out. Held in by Beaudoin. Cole Beaudoin. Handoff right wing corner. Toe drag into a shot and a save by Vicari. And as the Firebirds trying to bring it out the other way. Kostov onto the left side. Battaglia into the corner. Looking in tight. Over towards Thibodeau as the Firebirds are on it now with Alex Kostov still. Kostov curling along the wall. Kostov. Nice hand still to control as he looked over towards Murata. Charlie Murata has a goal in the first period of this game. Played it back to Komodowski. And behind the net, Battaglia working on it. Jacob Battaglia still on the puck. Komodowski. Shot didn't get through, and there's Murata along the near wing side. Komodowski's shot, the stick of Wilmot broken too. And the Firebirds now with Murata on it, trying to flip it in deeper, but Beaudoin clears it. It's going to be an icing, but with 4 minutes and 58 seconds to go in the second period, that will bring us to a timeout. Firebirds lead by 1. It's 2-1 Flint. Less than 5 minutes to go in the second. 4:58 on the clock. As we step aside, we're back with more in a moment. This is the Firebirds Hockey Network.
Flint Firebirds hockey is even better with a group. The Firebirds offer discounted tickets for groups of 10 or more people for any of our home games. Perfect for entertaining clients, celebrating a special occasion, or just having a fun night out with family, friends, or coworkers. We have the easy and affordable plan for you. Plus, the bigger the group, the bigger the discount. For more information, visit flintfirebirds.com or contact the Dort Financial Center box office to book your group outing today.
Firebirds 2, Colts 1, 4 minutes and 58 seconds to go in this second period. I'm Brian Gardner. Zach McConzick will be along to check in with Dryden Allen at the second intermission. As we hope you're enjoying yourselves, hopefully nice and warm wherever you're taking in Firebirds hockey as the Firebirds host the Barrie Colts. My, oh my, has it been frigid as of late. Going throughout Michigan and into Ontario. Really anywhere the OHL touches. You guys, we've all been dealing with the cold. Here they come now with Cole Beaudoin in the attacking zone, swept away by Luca Graziano. And the puck out to Ben Wilmot. Shot blocked by Oljanski on the way through. Firebirds doing a good job keeping the puck away from Mason Vicari. Colt's going to try and change that. Brad Gardner. His pass was deflected, and Flint gets on it as they send up through center. And Nate Aspinall stalking it. On for Darian Anderson, but it's Gardner back on it for Barrie. As the pass up ice towards Zabeski. No icing. First to it is Salandra. Over to the far wing side now. Gardner throwing one in front, and it will be covered by Vicari. There's a Colt that ends up on top of him, and the Firebirds are none too pleased about that. Graziano and Zabeski getting into it. We'll see where the mitt's going to go. Graziano seems to want to. And after all that, a late pop coming in from Mason Zabeski. I'm going to quote the great Cosmo Kramer, this has all been one big tease. We didn't get a fight, just a little bit of scuffling and some roughing. 4:11 second period, 2-1's the score. Yeah, Zabeski ends up on top of Vicari. And Graziano didn't seem to like the way he kind of laid down on top of him. And yeah, that it got a little bit heated, and right when the linesman kind of clears the area, seemingly saying, okay, go ahead, guys. That's when they stop, except for that from Zabeski. Got one more pop in on him. And, well, as of now, they've put 2 minutes up for Zabeski, and they haven't put anything up for Graziano, but he is in the box, so it would appear we might get a double minor on Zabeski. It could lead to a Firebirds power play here. Paul Flash and company watching on from the Birds bench. And yeah, that seemingly is what's happening here, that it's going to be 2 for roughing for Graziano and 4 for Zabeski. Colts are going to have to send somebody over to serve that extra 2. And the Firebirds, who are 0 for 3 on the power play. Well, they'll get their 4th crack at things now. Let's see if Flint can get a little breathing room, leading 2-1 with 4 minutes and 11 seconds to go in this second period. They've won the draw and they get back to work on the LJ Inc. power play. Pazzi to Oljanski onto the left wing side. That's Kostov. And Thibodeau in front trying to sweep it on net. And didn't get on net as it's cleared away. They do announce indeed 4 minutes for roughing on Zabeski and 2 for roughing on Graziano as the Firebirds gain the zone with Thibodeau. Chris Thibodeau rimmed it wide. And there's Kostov. Alex Kostov working the wall. Left wing corner Thibodeau. Back to Kostov, guides it to the blue line. And puck to the right side, Pazzi. He lost the handle on it as it's cleared away by the Colts. All the way back down to the Firebirds end where Mason Vicari leaves his net to play it. 70 seconds remain on the power play chance for the Firebirds. Jacob Battaglia starts it the other way. Now Podrekar. Onto the left side, Kevin Heen. And he had it stripped off of his stick. Cleared the zone again. As Barrie's penalty kill has looked good today. Firebirds, their last power play chance, started to ramp things up a bit, but as now Aspinall gains the zone. Left side Heen, looking to snap it across for Lombardi. It didn't get to him, and the puck worked into the neutral zone where Aspinall is back on it. Far wing side, Podrekar. They gave it to the right wing for Lombardi. Jimmy Lombardi into the right wing corner. Now Anderson off the wall in tight. Aspinall with a chance and a save by Jaswal. And then Aspinall, pretty decent scoring chance. Jaswal able to shut it down. 2:36 to go in the second. 2-1. Firebirds lead the Colts. 25 seconds remain on the power play chance for the Birds. And it will be Jimmy Lombardi for the draw on the attacking end. He wins it out to Podrekar, right wing side, Lombardi. Lombardi skates it to the bottom of the right circle. Lombardi back along to He. It's Kevin He, left wing corner. Out to the blue line, Podrekar, right side. Aspinall, the trigger, it was blocked. On the second chance, Aspinall for Podrekar. Podrekar to He, score! Kevin He picks his corner. It's a power play goal, and Flint's up a pair. Oh, with just 1 second to go on the power play clock, Podrekar found him. He picked the corner, high on the blocker's side. The Firebirds extend the lead to 2 with 2 minutes and 12 seconds to go in the second. It's now 3-1 Flint. That's Kevin He's 20th goal of the season. Kevin He continues his stellar play. That's his 6th as a Firebird. As Flint will dump the puck in off the one face-off. It's going to be an icing call against the Birds. 2:04 to go in the second period. The Birds now lead 3-1. This is Kevin He's 12th game for Flint. And boy, has he been something. As I said, his 6th goal. That goes with 9 assists. He's up to 15 points as a Firebird. And Flint will bring it out the other way. That is skated through center. Along for Cunningham, but it's blown dead for offside. 1:55 to go in the second period. Birds 3, Colts 1. Firebirds firmly in control of this one. Crowd's engaged. 1:54 to play in the second period. 3-1 Firebirds. Kevin He, quickly a fan favorite here in Flint. I got to imagine anybody checking out the Friday night Faceoff game of the week in the OHL from the Niagara region. Probably a little bittersweet seeing Kevin He flourishing here in Flint. He was a former captain of the Niagara Ice Dogs before that trade, and he was absolutely a beloved player there as well. And you can see why with how he brings it every single shift. Puck into the neutral zone. Firebirds are on it with Fellinger. And Rylan Fellinger to work it forward. And it's the Birds still on it, defensive end, Murata. And they bring it into the attacking zone. Left side, Cunningham. Puck rolled on him. Murata got it back to him. Cunningham in the right wing corner. 66 seconds to go in the second period. Hanser right back behind the net. Onto the near side, Gardner. High into the air it goes, and that will bounce down for Kevin He to go over and get it. 53 seconds to go in the second period. He over the red line will dump it in, and that puck to the far side where Kevin He laid a hit. And now in the right wing corner, the Firebirds are still after it. That is brought out. He left wing side, Oljanski shoots it wide, and it's bounced off the end boards. Kostov, Alex Kostov. On the far side, he was looking to Oljanski, who was going off for a change. Miscommunication between those two, but Battaglia is on it. Now to Kostov. He goes down a little awkwardly in the left wing corner, and Barrie has it back. Aitchison on the right wing side. Schneid dumped it in. Graziano back on it. As they'll cycle over for Battaglia. And it's Desiderio to dump it in. And play to the far side for Schneid. 2 seconds and 1. There's the horn, and that'll do it for period number 2. All the Firebirds, they grab control of this one with a pair of goals in the second frame, and your score now after 2 periods of play is Flint 3 and Barrie 1. Firebirds out shooting the Colts 31-13 for the game, 11-5 in that period. And Flint still very much in the driver's seat as we've reached the second intermission. And a little bit of conflict at the end of that period that brings us to our break as the Firebirds again lead by 2. It's 3-1 Flint as they will head down the tunnel and get themselves ready for the final 20 minutes of this one. So it's the Firebirds 3 and the Colts 1 as we welcome you back inside our broadcast booth. I'm Brian Gardner. Zach McConzick will have Dryden Allen as a conversational partner down outside the Birds dressing room in just a few moments' time. And what we've seen is Allen and the Firebirds take control of this game. They're continuing to make life difficult on Barrie as the Colts have managed only 13 shots on goal, largely been on their heels. Firebirds finally get the power play goal. They snap that skid with their 4th power play chance of the game. So good to see Flint back in the goal scoring column on the power play. Kevin He with his 6th goal as a Firebird, able to do the job on that with also his 20th of the season. So that gave Flint a little extra breathing room. Your score is 3-1 now as the Firebirds up a pair over the Barrie Colts. Flint fell to Barrie 5-3 when these two teams last met 15 days ago, 2 weeks from yesterday, as the Firebirds lost that one on the road. But Flint, who interestingly enough, in 8 chances against Barrie, has actually never beaten the Colts on home ice in franchise history. We would love for that no longer to be an interesting factoid that you can throw out about the Firebirds and the Barrie Colts, as Flint looking to get in the win column against this Eastern Conference opponent, the Barrie Colts. So the Firebirds with a 3-1 lead here after 2 periods of play. And again, it will be Zach McConzick and Dryden Allen, who has 2 assists already in today's game. for a quick chat outside the Birds dressing room in just a moment. And remember, the Firebirds up 2 after goals in that second period coming from Josh Colosimo and then from Kevin He, the latter of which was scored on a power play with only 1 second remaining on that man advantage. So the Birds 3 and the Colts 1 as the Firebirds and the Colts have reached the second intermission, and it's now time to go downstairs to Zach and Dryden.
Thanks, Brian. Dryden, you got 2 assists in the game today. How have you been able to involve your teammates from the defensive position?
Yeah, I think, we preach the team defense first and sticking to that, being a good, solid guy in the D zone, and you'll get rewarded for it. But, credit to the boys for finishing for me.
Speaking of defense first, you guys have only given up 13 shots in this game through 2 periods. Talk to me a little bit about the defense you guys have been playing.
Yeah, I think it's just our sticks all around, whether it's even in the O zone, in the forecheck, right back to the D zone. Just really eliminated shot chances for them, and sticking to it like that will be good here in the third.
2-goal lead, how do you close it out? I know you just said that, but give me a little bit more.
Yeah, change nothing. Keep going. Just stay simple, stick to our structure, and close out.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Back upstairs to you, Brian.
Thanks, Zach. Thanks, Drydes. The Firebirds in good shape right now. Dryden Allen wants them to keep playing the way they're playing, and can you blame the young man? As his team doing a good job with those active sticks, keeping the puck away from the Barrie Colts and their dangerous offensive performers. And we're seeing Flint in the driver's seat, 3-1 after 2, looking for more of the same coming up in the third. Stick around, second intermission awaits us, and we got some highlights to show you, including Kevin He picking his corner. That stretched it from 2-1 to 3-1 with a power play goal. Go meet your teammates, young man. You got something to celebrate. Firebirds up 2 after 2. Second intermission report when we come back on the Firebirds Hockey Network.
What would you do with an extra $700? You can earn up to $700 per year with Boost Checking from Dort Financial Credit Union. Don't let your checking account just sit there. Boost Checking pays 7.0 annual percentage yield on balances up to $10,000. That's up to $700 extra to do what you love. For whatever you're thinking, dreaming, or doing, Boost Checking from Dort Financial. Fulfilling dreams, supporting community for over 70 years. Official credit union of the Flint Firebirds.
Pirani's Hockey World, dominating the game since 1976. From rookies to pros, we've got the gear to give you the edge. Bauer, CCM, Warrior, True, every brand you trust. Every level of play, sticks, skates, training gear, you name it, we've got it. Stay at the top of your game with Bauer Pro Sharp Advantage skate sharpening. Precision so sharp, it's like skating on air. Plus, join our free loyalty program and score points on every dollar spent. Don't settle. Gear up where the competition shops. Pirani's Hockey World, the toy store for the hockey player. Find your nearest location today.
Welcome to 2026, a year of exciting changes and fresh beginnings. It's the perfect time to embrace new possibilities and drive into the year with confidence. Why not start this new chapter with a brand new Chevy, like the Chevy Silverado 1500 or the 2026 Chevy Equinox? A great selection is available right here at Shea Chevrolet. I'm Mackenzie Miller, and this is your year to make a change. Visit us at Shea Chevrolet and let's make 2026 a year to remember. Just Shea'n.
Well, we're having some fun on this Friday night at the Dort Financial Center. It's got the Firebirds up 3-1 over the visiting Barrie Colts, and things are feeling good here in Flint as the Birds trying to get back in the win column following their loss last time out on Saturday. So, Birds up 2 after 2. That means let's look at what happened in those first 2. as the Firebirds and the Barrie Colts will pick it up in the first period. And first period that, well, Flint was swarming. That puck rolling through the legs of Arvin Jaswal. Got a little bit of help from Jaden Newton before Josh Colosimo could jump on it. Then Darian Anderson off the post, no go. Firebirds still looking for their game's first goal at this point, but forecheck going to do some work there. Kept in by Dryden Allen, cleaned up by Charlie Murata. On the rebound, swooping in from behind the goaltender, he bangs it home, and Flint took a 1-0 lead. Then later the other way, Barrie to answer with Joe Salandra, and as he got that past the glove of Mason Vicari, we're all square, 1-1. Moving forward into the second period, and in the second, Josh Colosimo 2-on-1 with Darian Anderson. Colosimo waited, shot, and scored. Colosimo gets his 4th of the season. Chris Thibodeau, Dryden Allen, the helpers. And then with a power play chance, Podrekar to Kevin He. He, top of the left circle, shoots and scores. You gotta love it, going to celebrate with the bench. Kevin He really enjoys himself playing hockey as he gets over, embraced by the team as they get the power play goal and take a 3-1 lead. So that's where we stand right now. The Firebirds up by 2 after 2 periods of play. It was 1-1 after 1, and Flint sticking to the process and adding on with a couple of goals in the second period. So the Firebirds firmly in the driver's seat going into the third. Barrie on the road here, going to need a come-from-behind effort if they're going to come back, maybe force overtime, try to pick up some points in this one. Firebirds really, really successful this season, putting the clamps down when they're up after 2 periods of play, though. And we'll see if the Birds can continue to engage this big home crowd on this Friday night. First of 2 games the Birds will play on home ice this weekend. And, well, it's been a good atmosphere here today in Flint. We'll see if the Birds can keep on rolling with that, as, again, they lead by a score of 3-1 after 2 periods of play. So stick around. Coming up in the second intermission, when we come back, we'll get a look at what else has gone on around the league on the out-of-town scoreboard. Check in with the upcoming schedule for the Firebirds, who, as we mentioned, are on home ice tomorrow. And then what's coming up after that, we'll talk about that and more when we come back for the second intermission report, as the Firebirds lead by 2 after 2. They're in the driver's seat over their visitors from Barrie. And more, the second intermission report coming up after this on the Firebirds Hockey Network.
For nearly a century, Goyette Mechanical has been a Flint and Mid-Michigan's business partner. Goyette is a Flint-based family-owned business. We were born and raised here. We went to school here. We live here and play here, employing hundreds of Michigan residents. Goyette Mechanical, a committed Michigan company providing the best in plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical sales and service, and 100% satisfaction guaranteed. A big reason why you gotta get Goyette.
Gotta get Goyette!
At the second intermission, Firebirds leading by 2 as it's Flint 3 and Barrie 1 on this Friday evening from Mid-Michigan. Now to check out what else is going on around the Ontario Hockey League, it sees the Brantford Bulldogs lead the Owen Sound Attack 3-1. Owen Sound, who just snapped the losing streak, well, they jumped out to a 1-0 lead on an early goal from Tristan DeLille, but Eric Van Acker, Jake O'Brien, Nicholas Rosetto have all scored. And it's the Bulldogs who continue to pace the way, tied for first place in the Eastern Conference with 71 points. They've got points in 9 in a row, trying to make it 10 straight as they lead by a score of 3-1. The Erie Otters lead the Sioux Greyhounds 2-1. Now, Carter George has been basically unbeatable since being traded to the Sioux, but he's allowed 2 goals on 14 shots as although the Sioux jumped out to a 1-0 lead on a Christopher Brown goal. Jake Murray and Michael Deck both solved the Carter George puzzle in the second period. They're underway in the third now in Erie as they lead by a score of 2-1. Kitchener has a 4-1 lead over the Windsor Spitfires on home ice. Kitchener jumped out to a 4-0 lead before Anthony Cristoforo got on the board for the Spitfires. Now, the Rangers 67 points, 1 point back of the Windsor Spitfires entering play today. So if they win this one today, the Rangers, they would jump up to 69 points, and no matter what happened in the Firebirds and Colts game here, it would be Kitchener in first, and then the leader of the West Division in second place in the Western Conference. So getting pretty interesting at the top of the West as the Rangers, Dylan Edwards with a goal and an assist helping lead the way. Christian Humphreys also has 2 assists. Moving along, the London Knights have a 2-1 lead over the North Bay Battalion on home ice. Former Bird Caden Petrie on the board with his 13th goal of the season for North Bay, but Jesse Nurmi and Henry Bristevich both scoring for London, as that is a 2-1 lead for the Knights at the second intermission. Ottawa 4, Peterborough 1. Former Firebirds forward Sam McHugh with 2 goals in this one for the 67s. We also have goals from Nick Whitehead and Jasper Kuda. Braden McCallum, the only goal for the Petes, and again at the second intermission in Ottawa. It's 4-1 in favor of the 67s. The Kingston Frontenacs have a 2-1 lead over the Sudbury Wolves after 2 periods of play. Kieran Dervin, Alex Kuhlman on the board for the Fronts. Ethan Dean had started the scoring for Sudbury, but Kingston continuing to play better and better hockey as things move on, as the Frontenacs are only 4 points back of the 2-way tie for 5th place in the Eastern Conference. Not bad for sellers at the trade deadline. They've been playing well as of late. Over in Oshawa, the Generals hosting the Niagara Ice Dogs. It's 4-2 Niagara. As for the Ice Dogs, they were down 2-1 after 1, but 3 goals in the second period, including a pair from Riley Patterson. He's up to 27 on the season. Also have 2 assists out of Ethan Zada and Ryan Robrick as the Ice Dogs lead the Generals 4-2. In Sarnia, it's 2-2 between Saginaw and Sarnia. Now, tomorrow night, Saginaw going to host these Barrie Colts. The Firebirds will host the Sarnia Sting, but for now, they're over in Sarnia, and it's a 2-2 game between the Spirit and the Sting. Brenner Layman's, Alessandro Diorio on the board for Sarnia. Igor Barabanov, Dima Zhilkin have both scored for the Spirit. And finally, the Brampton Steelheads have a 2-0 lead over the Guelph Storm. That is early in the third period in Guelph. Coming up for the Firebirds, tomorrow we mentioned those Sarnia Sting coming to town. That's the first of back-to-back games against the Sting for the Firebirds, who they owe the Sting a couple, as those 2 division rivals will take a couple more off the schedule of one another. Firebirds tomorrow at home ice at 7 o'clock. Then the next week on Wednesday, 7:05 puck drop in Sarnia. Birds will then head north on Thursday to play the game in the Sioux on Friday at the GFL Memorial Gardens. That'll be an interesting one as the Firebirds get their first look at the new look Sioux Greyhounds. Then on Saturday, the Healthcare Heroes Night for the Birds, Saturday the 7th, a week from tomorrow. The Erie Otters in town for a 7 o'clock puck drop. Now the Firebirds in that game, all healthcare employees can get a free ticket to the game. That's courtesy of the game night sponsors, Sovita Credit Union, as well as Genesee Health Plan. Well, here today, the Firebirds taking on the Barrie Colts, and your score is 3-1 after 1. Now, this is we alluded to this earlier in the intermission. It's something that we bring up often around here, but the Birds are so good at clamping it down going into the third. This will be the 25th time the Firebirds have entered the third period with a lead in the previous 24. 22 wins, 1 overtime loss, and 1 shootout loss. The Firebirds have not lost in regulation when they entered the third with the lead. We'll see if the Birds can pick up another win when we come back after this. 3-1 after 2, third period puck drop coming up on the Firebirds Hockey Network.
Let Shea uplift your service experience. Here's our process. As soon as you enter the Shea service lane, one of our service consultants will greet and listen to your service needs. Then we prepare your vehicle to be serviced by one of our trained expert technicians. You can relax in your waiting room with complimentary refreshments. Your service consultant will keep you updated throughout the process. Your vehicle will be returned to you all clean and serviced. I'm Jesse Lopez. Now that's uplifting. Just Shayin'.
Even your home is sick of its old windows. Time to kick those old, drafty panes to the curb and upgrade to the energy-efficient Michigan window. For 1 week only, save 60% off installation or no interest for 72 months on all new custom vinyl window projects. All on top of our already unbeatable factory direct prices. D&W, trusted home improvements built over 3 generations.
Wow, I can't believe we're in here. Does Justin know you're doing this?
Look at this beauty. He inducted himself.
You can do that?
Of course you can't do that.
Smells like a teenager.
I'm sorry, but I don't speak French. But that's not the reason I cheer for the Leafs.
Firebirds 3, Colts 1. Teams are back on the ice. We're moments away from puck drop here for the third period. I'm Brian Gardner. Thank you for tuning in today. Glad to have you with us. Hope you're enjoying yourself. We'll see if the Birds convert this 2-period lead into 2 points. Mason Vicari, 13 shots faced. He stopped 12 of them. Evan Passmore and the Colts lining up and seeing making a little comeback effort. 20 minutes on the clock, puck down. That's underway for period number 3. Sent along the left side, and Jimmy Lombardi will chase. That is picked up by Beaudoin over along the left wing and played backwards right wing side onto Beaudoin once again. Cole Beaudoin, as he steps in, shoves one on net, save Vicari, rebound, score. Mason Zabeski right through the wickets and in off the rebound. And 22 seconds into the third period, Barrie is on the board. They've cut the deficit in half. It's 3-2. Now for Mason Zabeski, that's his first goal as a Colt. A former Brampton Steelhead. He had 13 goals in 38 games for the Steelheads, and now in his 10th game as a Colt, that's goal number 1. Zabeski and the Colts on the board as it's now 3-2. Flint wins the face-off. Back to Graziano, right side to Thibodeau. And the puck up into the neutral zone. Passmore back along the near wing side. That is worked in deep. Firebirds with Oljanski. Stapled into the boards behind. And Flint to stretch one up through center. Hemming to intercept. Emil Hemming. Gonna bring it along the near side. And they get it over to Beaudoin. Cole Beaudoin. The near wing half wall. They play it along to Wilmot. Ben Wilmot. And shoots one and a save by Vicari. They feed it back in front for a chance by Hemming. Stopped by Vicari. Mason Vicari quickly tested twice right after that goal scored. He makes a couple of stops. 59 seconds gone in the third, and it's 3-2. I'll see if the Firebirds can get things jump-started once again as the Colts have come out with a couple of haymakers here in the third period. And the Firebirds will work it along towards Kevin He. He takes it away in the attacking zone from Von Richter and slips away from pressure. Battaglia back to him. Kevin He, man possessed on this shift. He on the near side, he possesses it out towards the blue line. And Kevin He through traffic, got on net, still after it. And now Battaglia spills down, and it's Hanser back in the defensive zone. Behind the net, Justin Hanser. Mosey his way up ice with 18:21 on the clock in the third. Hanser, number 16 in white for these Barrie Colts on the road. Firebirds sweeping it to the far wing side. As Flint worked up into the neutral zone, Kevin He looked like maybe he was tripped. No hand in the air. As it is worked along the near side, Von Richter. Now to Emerton. Emerton wheels it up ice. Cole Emerton dumped in. Dryden Allen is on it. Allen to the near side, Cunningham. And the puck up towards Murata. As that is now nudged along for Emerton to get back on it. To the left wing side it goes. And that's right back to the near wing as that stick broke in two for Emerton, and Cunningham now wheels it in. Cunningham's shot didn't get on net. Nicely done by Emerton. I think he blocked that with his skate. And the Firebirds now with Rylan Fellinger back in his own zone. Up ice towards Cunningham. Looking to Murata. Charlie Murata with a goal back in the first period today as he dumps it in, and that is now snaked behind over to the near side for Eliason. 17:11 to go in the third period. Flint 3, Barrie 2. It's Daryl Zoljanski. Over for Cunningham. Rylan Cunningham high into the air. And Passmore is on at defensive end. Up ice left wing side, Crombie. They give it to the left wing and it's dumped in by Zabeski. Firebird first to it. And behind the play, Lombardi is going to get called for a trip on Beaudoin. And it looked to me like those two kind of collided along the boards, and Lombardi's incredulous. Fans don't like it either. So Beaudoin and Lombardi, I mean, kind of looked like Beaudoin's skate kind of came in and got itself tangled with Lombardi's skate. That really, all right, well, let's not dwell on it. 16:46 to go in the third period. 3-2 the score, as I think the Firebirds fans can pretty much carry the tone in the room. That is dumped all the way down, and Aitchison to get to it. And the puck brought through center onto Beaudoin. Cole Beaudoin shimmies wide into the left wing corner. That puck is played out towards the blue line and skipped over to the right wing side. Into the right wing corner it goes. Beaudoin along for Hemming. Emil Hemming. As the officials are being serenaded, it's Von Richter's shot stopped by Vakari. It's loose behind the net now. 16:05 to go in the third. 1:17 on the power play chance for Barrie. Firebirds 3, Colts 2. Von Richter over to the left wing now. Hemming. And got it to Salandra, and the Firebirds are going to get called for another trip here. So with 59 seconds remaining on the initial penalty, now Dryden Allen will go keep Jimmy Lombardi company in the penalty box, and the Birds are going to be at a two-man disadvantage for the next 59 seconds. Allen's stick, little loose. And the Colts have called for timeout. Now Barrie rightfully noticing here that this is a major moment in this game, with the Colts leading 3-2, trailing 3-2, but on the power play, a two-man advantage for 59 seconds. Still 2 minutes worth of a power play await for Barrie. 15:45 to go in the third period. Now as the Firebirds and the 3-1 lead entering this period. Barrie scores in the first minutes. And now the Colts line up and get to it on the power play. They win it over to Hemming. Now Aitchison. He's dangerous. Down to Beaudoin. Beaudoin to Gardner. And now Beaudoin again. Brad Gardner gave it to Cole Beaudoin. Hemming with a one-timer, save Vicari. Rebound swept aside. Kostov lunging after it. And he gets it into the neutral zone. Birds fans love that work. On the near side, it's Aitchison. 28 seconds worth of 5-on-3 remain. Kayshawn Aitchison. Left wing Hemming. Now Brad Gardner. Gardner for Hemming. Along to Aitchison. Doesn't pull the trigger. Aitchison. Right wing corner. Here's Beaudoin. He'll trade places. Beaudoin for Aitchison. A shot saved by Vicari. Swept aside by Fellinger. Lombardi will be free in 2 seconds. Down low to Gardner, can't get it to him. Snapped up through center. Jimmy Lombardi with a shorthanded breakaway. Turned aside by Jaswal. Oh my, what a save by Arvin Jaswal. Lombardi fresh out of the box with a golden chance. Now Beaudoin to the backside for Aitchison. And the Firebirds still break it up. 38 seconds worth of a power play still remains. Aitchison shot is wide. And the Colts back out to Gardner. Inside the blue line, right side Hemming. Emil Hemming, toe drag into a shot, stopped by Vicari. Mason Vicari hangs on. And rightfully the Birds fans cheering on the penalty killers. The Firebirds weathering the initial storm. They get this golden chance for Lombardi, puts on the move. Oh my, Jaswal just sticking with it. Able to make the save with the right pad. Lombardi couldn't quite lift it over. Then on the other end, juggled and snatched by Vicari. The Firebirds still shorthanded as they win the faceoff. 22 seconds remain on the power play for the Colts. Shot wide from Emerton along the near wing side. It's worked back out to Emerton at the point. And he played to the left wing. Bottom of the circle, short side, they score! It's Calvin Crombie just over Vicari's shoulder, and just like that, the game is tied. A power play goal with 13:52 to go in the third, and we're all square. It's 3-3. So the Birds nearly kill off the power plays, but Calvin Crombie will get his 10th goal of the season. Just flips it right over the shoulder on the short side. And what was a 2-goal lead has evaporated in just 6 minutes and 8 seconds in this third period. The Colts have erased the deficit and squared things at 3. Now that Jaswal save on the Lombardi shorthanded breakaway looms even larger. And the Colts will bring it out the other way, up through center, dumped in by Desiderio. And the Firebirds do get to it as they poke along the near side. Newton out towards the blue line. Eliason on to Von Richter. Shot stopped by Vicari. And Mason Vicari will melt it for a whistle with 13:29 to go in the third. Post whistle though, it's Graziano and Newton. And a bucket's off. There go the gloves, and they're going to check them. Newton lands it right, but Graziano trying to jab in there. As Newton gets the right hand free, Graziano trying to blindly throw back. Jersey's been pulled over his head. And Jaden Newton and Luca Graziano separated. Newton barking over towards his bench. He's fired up. Both to the box. Some stuff to sort out. as we take a timeout. It's the Firebirds 3 and the Colts 3. Let's get a little bit activated with Newton and Graziano as we take our break. 13:29 to go in the third. Brand new hockey game on the Firebirds Hockey Network.
Flint Firebirds hockey is even better with a group. The Firebirds offer discounted tickets for groups of 10 or more people for any of our home games. Perfect for entertaining clients, celebrating a special occasion, or just having a fun night out with family, friends, or coworkers. We have the easy and affordable plan for you. Plus, the bigger the group, the bigger the discount. For more information, visit flintfirebirds.com or contact the Dort Financial Center box office to book your group outing today.
13 minutes and 29 seconds to play in the third. Birds 3, Colts 3. Barrie with 2 quick ones here in this third period to tie the game. And we'll get a look at the tussle they brought us to the break. Jaden Newton and Luca Graziano. And yeah, Newton got the jersey pulled over Graziano's head, and Graziano landed a couple of pops in there, even blindly, but well, you get that jersey pulled over, and it is kind of changes the dynamic of the fight. 3-3 hockey game, as both of those young men, it appears, will get 5 for fighting. And it's off the draw. The shot goes wide of the net. It does bounce into the slot. Backhanded chance from Beaudoin. And the Firebirds will snap it over to the far wing side. Puck is loose behind the net. Fed along for Hemming, a shot and a glove saved by Vakari. So Mason Zabeski, Calvin Crombie have both scored here in this third period. Colts have come out flying. Barrie now has 11 shots on goal in the third. They had 13 in the first 2 combined. Third period's not even 7 minutes old. Draw controlled by the Colts. They shoot one on net, and a save made by Mason Vakari. Firebirds, and they fling it up into the neutral zone. Pazzi and Thibodeau. Pazzi rimmed it behind for Thibodeau. That is nudged up ice and knocked out of midair for Pazzi to take it back. Ignat Pazzi, checked by Hemming, and he throws it along to Thibodeau. Chris Thibodeau, still working on it, and Emil Hemming. It's physical in the defensive zone. Pazzi chasing. Passmore on it as he plays to the near side. Rylan Fellinger over for it to get it away from Hemming. Now Pazzi on the left wing circle. Ignat Pazzi. They play it back to the near side for Fellinger. And that puck is grabbed by Zabeski up ice towards Beaudoin. Cole Beaudoin on the left wing circle. And now it's Allen, but it's Wilmot to take it back. 12:08 to go in the third. Right side, Emerton walking the blue line over to the left wing. Beaudoin with a shot blocked by Allen. Another shot hit a stick, and that'll sail into the screen out of play. 11:58 to go in the third period. Flint 3, Barrie 3. As momentum firmly on the side of the Colts, the Firebirds need to get this crowd behind them once again. They seemingly are about to get an eruption at the tail end of that penalty kill, but the late power play goal from Calvin Crombie ties things in. It's got Barrie feeling good over on the visitors' bench. Firebirds clear up towards the blue line as Emerton dumps that thing right back in deep, or Flint does get to it. Puck along the near side. It's forced up into the neutral zone. Smith to chase. Now Hanser. Along the left wing, Wilmot. Austin for the Firebirds to get it back. Battaglia. Work into the neutral zone, and that's Gardner to take now. Gardner trying to leave one back in front. And it rolled into the neutral zone, where now Von Richter takes it. Back over to the near wing side. Parker Von Richter to Ben Wilmot. He dumps it in, and the Firebirds with their Bon Padre car To clear it along near wing side. Oljanski for Flint shovels one to the far side. 11:05 to go in the third period. Darian Anderson. He'll work his way forward. Anderson in the left side. And he got knocked down, and now it's Crombie out the other way. That puck is brought along by Desiderio. And Crombie into the right wing corner. They work it behind, and that is played back out to Von Richter. Left one in front for a chance. Stuffed by Vicari again. It's Lombardi for Flint. Jimmy Lombardi up ice right side. Anderson. Darian Anderson does dump it in. And that puck moves behind to be swept out the other way. And the Firebirds go back to get it. Oljanski. He takes it back from Fellinger. Firebirds getting organized, and they'll bring it out with Nathan Aspinall. Flint captain, left wing side to Lombardi. Hands it back off to Aspinall. Aspinall carried behind the net. And as he chucks on the brakes, Aitchison falls down. Oljanski over to Padrekar. Jaswal got knocked down. Oh, they shoot and score! Urban Padrekar. The Firebirds take the lead back. It's 4-3. Now we're going to have to get a look at the replay. Jaswal, Firebirds waited until he was back up. He was in position, had lost his stick in the process, but immediately the Barrie bench looking at their iPads to see if they're going to ask for any sort of a video review. It's called a good goal on the ice as Urban Padrekar is his 8th of the season. Yeah, Jaswal got knocked down, but he had scrambled back into position. Thumbs up, good goal, it's gonna stand, and that's heady by the Firebirds to almost wait a beat before putting the puck on net. And they take the lead on Urban Padrekar's goal from Oljanski and Aspinall. And Aspinall now with a pair of helpers, and Flint takes a 4-3 lead. As that's dumped in by Barrie, and it'll be called icing. Two points now for Nathan Aspinall. He's up to 64 points on the season. For Aspinall, his 2 assists put him at 40. And he's 1 point away from the 150-point mark. There's now 149 career points for Nate Aspinall. Entering play today, tied with Kieran Walton for first place in the OHL with 62 points. A long-range shot from Fellinger and a save made by Jaswal. So the Padrekar goal now the difference. As that faceoff is controlled by the Colts, who work it out towards the blue line. Firebirds to get it back. Lombardi score! Jimmy Lombardi high on the glove side. And there's the breathing room, wins up a pair. There's the crowd. This place has erupted. The Firebirds just taking it away. Tyler's on the forecheck. It's Darian Anderson to get it to Lombardi. And Jimmy just slung that thing. That's goal number 26 for Lombardi. Just picking his corner. Jimmy Lombardi. That's point number 50. Goal number 26. The Kings prospect as the Firebirds lead 5-3 with 9:30 to go in the third. Face-off controlled by Flint. They dump it in, and it's Jaswal. They get back on it. That is worked out the other way. Toward to Salandra. And he is taken down by Oljanski, and a penalty is coming against the Firebirds. And Flint right back to the penalty kill. Daryl Oljanski. 2 for high sticking. The stick got a little loose. I'm a little surprised that I would have maybe thought hooking, but regardless, stick got a little high, a little loose from Uljanski, and the Colts will get a chance to cut back into it. It's 5-3 Firebirds. Colts had tied it with a pair of goals earlier, but Pregame and Lombardi giving Flint some breathing room once again. Colts win the face-off, and they'll get to work with their power play. Across to Beaudoin. Shot hit Lombardi's stick, which broke in 2. And now chased along the near side, back out towards Von Richter. Over to the left wing it goes. They play to Von Richter. Beaudoin, top of the right circle. Down low, Aitchison with a shot. That's blocked by Vicari and cleared away by the Birds. A minute and 26 seconds to go on the power play as a little housekeeping in the building. They're announcing the goals. They just got to the Pregame goal, so you're going to hear some cheers here from this big Friday night crowd in Flint. Left wing half wall. A crossover to Aitchison. Shot didn't get on net, and now the Firebirds try to clear it, but it's held by Von Richter. Kostov takes it away. There's some ice in front of him. Von Richter shadowing him. Kostov for he turned aside by Jaswal. And back on the near side now it's Salandra. On to Emil Hemming. There's Cole Beaudoin. Beaudoin gains it for Aitchison. Kayshawn Aitchison, near wing wall. Down low, Beaudoin. Poke check loose. Firebirds sail it out of there. 7:49 to play in the third. 34 seconds still to kill off for the Birds. As that puck worked back through center ice. They gave it on to Crombie. Crombie, left wing circle with a shot by Gardner, who scores. Brad Gardner from the high slot. The Colts aren't done. He snaps it low past Vicari. It's another power play goal, and it's 5-4. Oh, Gardner, the overager, got his way loose to the high slot. And Brad Gardner picks up his 22nd goal this season. Barrie just won't go away. The Colts cut the deficit in half, a power play goal. That's their second power play tally of the game, and it's now 5-4. So 7:33 to go in the third period as the Birds work off the ensuing faceoff, but Hanser takes it. And now Barrie along the left wing side. They play it in right wing corner. Crombie on the near wing boards. Brought out by Flint. And up ice it comes for Brady Smith. Smith will work it around right wing corner as he rims it in left wing side. That puck is played out to Uljanski. And he got it to the right side. Graziano's shot goes wide. Second chance from he as he spins and it's blocked. And that puck is swept back into the right wing corner. Hanser, 6:52 to play in the third period. It's brought out the other way. Hanser, over the red line, he dumps it in. And that puck is back on it now for Flint with Dryden Allen. Allen at the red line. He dumps the puck into the right wing corner. Battaglia is there first. Battaglia hit off the outside of the net. And that puck in the right wing corner. It's swept back along. Right wing side it comes. Wilmot. Out to the right wing, they dump it in. As that puck skips along the glass, the Firebirds are on it first. Dryden Allen trying to poke it along the wall. There's Chris Thibodeau motoring over for it. Up through center, dumped back in by Barrie, and it's the Firebirds with Battaglia. 6:05 to go in the third period. Jacob Battaglia on to Uljanski. Over to the near side, Cunningham. Thibodeau on his horse, and that's going to be covered and hung on to by Jaswal. 5 minutes and 56 seconds to go in the third period. Getting a little testy once again between the Birds and the Colts. As they separate them, we'll separate ourselves from you. Just for a moment, though. Short timeout. 5:56 to play in the third. 5-4 Birds on FHN. 5 minutes, 56 seconds to go in the third. Flint up 1, it's 5-4 Firebirds. And the cowbells are clanging here on this Friday night. A lively atmosphere inside the Dort Financial Center. Thanks for being here, glad to have you. Birds will set up for the attacking zone left wing circle face-off, and Jimmy Lombardi, his goal currently the difference. Goal number 26 on the season for the Firebirds' third-year center. Kick from the circle, enter Aspinall. 2 assists tonight for Nathan Aspinall as the face-off controlled by Barrie, and they work it up into the neutral zone. Graziano lays a check on Hemming, and it's Aspinall on the right side. Anderson on his horse. Give it over to the near wing. Hemming. Puck is brought through center now. Zabeski. Hip checked by Uljanski. And the Firebirds now along the near wing do smack it out. Darian Anderson to stalk it. Anderson worked on by Aitchison, who comes away with the puck. Through center it comes. It's dumped in by Aitchison. Keyshawn Aitchison gave a little pop towards Nate Aspinall. After that was sent in, and now Aspinall is in with a chance. His shot turned away and brought out the other way now by Barrie. Firebirds with Fellinger. That is knocked down by Aspinall. And Emerton gave it over to the left wing. Eliasson back for Emerton. And it's played up ice to Newton. And the Firebirds now with Fellinger. Ryland Fellinger, right side Thibodeau. Thibodeau worked into the neutral zone. 4:37 to go in the third period. On to Newton. Well, the Birds get back to it. Kostov. Alex Kostov. Along to Thibodeau. Kostov chases. And Thibodeau's down behind the play. And they're going to blow it dead. As Chris Thibodeau. He was down and seemed pretty stung, but he gets right back up and he's skating off under his own power. With 4 minutes and 17 seconds to go in the third period. See if we can get a look. Oh, Desiderio. Oh, that was a shoulder directly to the head of Chris Thibodeau as he skated by, and that didn't look great. I'll say that. You know, Thibodeau took a second down on the ice, and then he popped right back up, but down the tunnel he goes. Beaudoin's kind of trying to argue with the referees. And they're going to put this under review, and I think that, well, the video doesn't exactly look great for Nicholas Desiderio. So this is what they're going to be looking at. There's Thibodeau blind, and yeah, he definitely kind of veered and delivered a shoulder directly to the head of Thibodeau, who was, well, he was down and motionless for about 10 seconds there. So as our officiating crew reviews this, Desiderio has been brought over to the penalty box. And with only 4 minutes and 17 seconds to go in this third period, the Firebirds leading 5-4. Now it seems very likely that Barrie is going to end up shorthanded as a result of this. Something that was missed in the flow of action. Now they're taking a long look at this. See Matt Bolby with the headset on. appears like they have reached a decision. Now, me and a few thousand of my best friends are waiting on to be informed of that decision. Desiderio in the box. They're going to close the door on him. Baudouin doesn't seem pleased, which is a good sign for the Firebirds. And Desiderio is heading down the tunnel. Looks like he's done. 5 minutes have been put up for Nicholas Desiderio with 4:17 to go in the third period. Meanwhile, there's Chris Thibodeau climbing back onto the bench after going for a quick little rip. He appears to be no worse for wear. And the Firebirds are going to have a 5-minute major power play. Imagine it's going to be a major penalty for a check to the head. And as the Colts win the face-off, right back to their goaltender Arvin Jaswal, who will cover and hang on. And they'll set up for another face-off here. See if the Birds can get a little bit of insurance here. They've won the draw. Out to Padrekar. Now Kevin He. Anderson back to He. Padrekar for He again. Anderson found Kevin He. Padrekar. Shot was blocked on the way through and worked back into the neutral zone. Shorthanded, here comes Aitchison. In, shoots wide. And that will rocket all the way back the other way. Anderson runs it down. Lombardi there to help. Jimmy Lombardi into the neutral zone. Padrekar to get it. It's Urban Padrekar. Near side Aspinall. Nathan Aspinall, right wing Thibodeau. Chris Thibodeau in the right wing corner. Now Kevin He. And the puck to the blue line, Oljanski. Tipped in front. It's brought out by Crombie. Crombie into the neutral zone. Thibodeau. Backhanded it in. Over to the right wing side, Eliasson. It's cleared along, and now Battaglia. Jacob Battaglia shoots it, it's blocked. Still has it on the rebound. Less than 3 minutes to go now. Oljanski on the left wing wall. High slot. Allen. Shot was blocked. And it's the Colts the other way. Into the neutral zone. Crombie clears it. Firebirds back to get it. 2:40 remains in this third period. It's a 5-4 Flint lead, and Jacob Battaglia motors in. Battaglia going to the net. Puck loose behind. In front for a chance from Anderson. It's wide. Now Battaglia on to Kostov. And it will be taken away. Gardner over to the far side. They brought in for hands are deflected in front. They score. Ben Wilmot shorthanded with just 2:19 to go in the third. Barrie has tied the game. It's 5-5. Wow, Ben Wilmot picks up the goal on the deflection in tight. Short-handed with Barrie killing off a major penalty for a game misconduct check to the head. And somehow the Colts able to equalize late here in the third period. Now Barrie's won the face-off and they'll dump it in over to the far side where now the Firebirds do get to it. Aspinall backwards to Padrekar. And Aspinall will bring it in along the left side. Colosimo. That'll be taken away by Barrie and cleared once again. Flint still on the power play here. Emil Hemming right back behind the net. On for Kevin He. Kevin He leads the charge. On the right side, he turns on the Jets. Back to Oljanski. 1:25 to go in regulation. Battaglia there for Thibodeau. Back to Battaglia. Jacob Battaglia. Shot was blocked. Here they come the other way now. Von Richter, short-handed, plays it off the wall. And he chases in as the Firebirds. Back to it, Chris Thibodeau. Drops it for Oljanski. 1:04 to go in the third. Thibodeau over the red line. Loose puck scooped up by Von Richter. Cleared out and the Firebirds are back on it. As that's played backwards on towards Alex Kostoff. 50 seconds to go in regulation. Firebirds with Thibodeau. To the left wing corner now. Battaglia out for Oljanski. Shot goes wide. And Flint now on the near wing wall. Kostoff shoots it and he ripped it wide as well. 31 seconds to go in regulation. Dumped in left wing corner. Flint to swoop after it. Battaglia. Oljanski calling for it, couldn't find him. And with 20 seconds to go now, the Firebirds with a fresh set. Going back to get him. They bring it in now with Kostoff. Aspinall shoots, save made by Jaswal. Lombardi throws it across. Aspinall shoots one wide. 5 seconds now. Kostoff along for Padrekar. Shot was blocked. Harmlessly back into the neutral zone as the horn sounds. And that will do it for regulation. The Colts with the late short-handed goal tie the game, which brings us to the end of regulation. Firebirds 5, Colts 5. We're gonna take a break. We're back with more in a moment. Overtime after this on the Firebirds Hockey Network.
Flint Firebirds hockey is even better with a group. The Firebirds offer discounted tickets for groups of 10 or more people for any of our home games. Perfect for entertaining clients, celebrating a special occasion, or just having a fun night out with family, friends, or coworkers. We have the easy and affordable plan for you. Plus, the bigger the group, the bigger the discount. For more information, visit flintfirebirds.com or contact the Dort Financial Center box office to book your group outing today.
The Ontario Hockey League, more than just a game.
Schaefer sprung loose and he scored!
On the ice, the OHL is the #1 provider of talent to the National Hockey League, developing the game's next stars. Off the ice, giving back matters. Since 2010, OHL teams have invested over $41 million in scholarships and raised nearly $8 million annually for charities in minor hockey, shaping futures beyond the rink. Excellence on the ice, opportunity beyond it. The Ontario Hockey League, where the journey begins.
Firebirds 5, Colts 5. We have had a heck of a hockey game here this evening as the Birds found themselves up 3-1 after 2 periods of play, and then what a third period that was. Barrie hangs 4 goals in the third. Firebirds had taken a 5-3 lead, but again Barrie answers with a pair, and now they have forced overtime. Both of these teams will pick up at least 1 point. 3-on-3 OT, 5 minutes going up on the clock for the Birds. They're heading to overtime, where this season, in games that go to OT or a shootout, they're 4-4. They're 2-2 when we decide it during OT, 2-2 when the game is decided during a shootout as well. As both teams will pick up at least 1 point. They're up to 67 apiece. We'll get point number 68. Let's find out together. Birds on the power play to begin this overtime, as it still carries over from that major penalty that was called against Nicholas Desiderio. Firebirds on it. It's Padrekar. He hands it off now to Aspinall. 2 assists, 8 shots on goal for the Firebirds captain, as that's handed back off in the defensive zone. Colts going to play key play as they'll clear it out. 14 seconds to go until that power play expires. Emil Hemming is in the box. He's going to spring out onto the ice and will skate 4-on-4 until the first stoppage of play. Lombardi in, down the right wing side. Lombardi out to the high slot. Lombardi shoots as Hemming is back on the ice. And that goes wide, and it looks like it went up into the netting and out of play. And just like that, we're back down to 3-on-3. 4:10 to go in OT. Firebirds 5, Colts 5. And Flint will line up for the attacking end face-off right wing circle. As it is down and controlled by Barrie. But Alex Kostov gets in the way. Ben Wilmot, the reason we're in overtime. He scored shorthanded with just over 2 minutes remaining. Has 2 points today, a goal and a helper. As it's brought in by Hemming. Hemming with a chance, he shoots and scores. Emil Hemming flips it on the glove side. That's the game-winning goal, and Barrie comes all the way back. The Colts will win it in overtime. Your final score, Barrie 6 and Flint 5. Now the Colts erased 2 separate 2-goal deficits in the third period. And they bring it all the way back. They win it by a final of 6-5. Then Barrie will take the season series 2-0 over the Firebirds. And they will come out on top. So the Colts celebrate here on Dort Financial Center ice, and the Firebirds, well, that's going to be a tough pill to swallow. As they led 3-1 entering the third. They led 5-3 late in the third, but Emil Hemming here in overtime. What a move, what a shot. He had 4 points against Flint in the Barrie win just over 2 weeks ago, and he gets the game-winning goal here this evening. As the Colts celebrate on center ice, we welcome you back inside our broadcast booth. I'm Brian Gardner. Zach McConsick will get the immediate thoughts of the head coach, Paul Flash, in just a moment's time as his Firebirds team comes up short. We'll have to settle for just 1 point, as Flint will now have 67 points on the season. Barrie picks up points number 67 and 68 as the Colts kick off their mid-Michigan swing with a win here in overtime in Flint. So the Firebirds fall by a final score of 6-5 in overtime. Zach McConsick is ready downstairs with Paul Flash.
Thanks, Brian. Coach, a tough overtime loss tonight. What did you still like from the team?
I like the resiliency in the first 2 periods. We played great, up 3-1. Did not like how we gave them a goal in the first shift. And then power play goal to tie it, come back, make it 5-3, should be game over. We get a power play with the lead and give up a shorty. It's just absolutely unacceptable. We can't play like that. We even talked about it during the timeout, saying make sure that we cover for our defensemen and we track back hard. Didn't do either of that. I think we thought the game was over, and it's again, we have to be way better.
Going into tomorrow against Sarnia, is defense going to be the main game plan?
Well, it's always the main game plan, I think, in this league, is you want to defend first, defend from your net out, and then once you get out of your zone, then you can start worrying about things you want to do with the puck. We liked our first 2 periods. It was 31-13 the shots. It shouldn't have been close, and we find a way to just let them stop playing and get back in the game. Again, credit to them. They found a way, but the shorthanded goal there with the way we played that, extremely unacceptable. It's one thing to not score on our power play. It's another thing to give up goals against, and we really have to hit the drawing board here on our power play.
For sure. Thanks for the time, Coach. Appreciate it. Back upstairs to you, Ryan.
Thank you, Flasher. Thank you, Zach. That's a head coach a little bit frustrated, and you can absolutely see why. He said it right there. Through 2 periods, the Firebirds up 31-13 in shots. Flint seemingly cruising. Unfortunately, Barrie had other ideas. 4 goals in the third. They win it in overtime, and he called it unacceptable. We'll see if the Firebirds can bounce back tomorrow against those Sarnia Stings. 6-5 in overtime. The Barrie Colts victorious today, and Emil Hemming just knifing right through. Hemming, what a play, what a goal. They win it 6-5. The Barrie Colts in extra time. Your final score. We got post-game highlights coming up after this on the Firebirds Hockey Network.